Hey, what is up?
Hey, and here we are.
Long time no see, man.
Yeah, been a little while since we did our last hangout.
Yeah, yeah, we got the 1979's Alien from Ridley Scott. I didn't know which one. I mean, because I don't hate any of the Alien movies. I mean, the one I
Okay.
dislike the most is probably the fourth one, Resurrection.
I love
But
that movie. That
yeah,
movie's
yeah,
I love it. Yeah,
there is one really cool thing about it. I'm not big on Sigourney in it and all that kind of stuff, and I think that Winona Ryder is kind of a waste. But I think they swim cool as fuck.
yeah, they do.
That was a great idea that they did that.
I like. Well, Brad Dourif was great in it, but I like the general sort of goofy tone of it. Worked for me, especially after Alien Three is probably my least favorite. I would say. Um,
Yeah.
but the super duper extended cut is a lot better than the theatrical, so I don't hate it.
What's your what's what don't you like about part three? What's the one thing?
About part three, conceptually, I think it's pretty cool. I don't. It seems weird that they just like immediately kill off Newt or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and Hicks.
and Hicks, yeah, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
it's
bummer.
just kind of like it's kind of like fuck you from the last movie, but uh,
Mhm.
uh, I think I think the thing I probably like least about it is it might be the I'm not like a dude who hates on CGI a lot, but that
Yeah,
CGI alien doesn't hold up super well.
right. Yeah, I thought
Uh,
the dog alien idea was pretty cool though.
I in
Very
the
well
but you
done.
don't in the extended cut you get to see like the alien goes into like an ox, right, or something like that,
Right. Yeah.
some kind of livestock. So you get the concept like, oh, okay, well when they take on sort of characteristics of their host, but in the theatrical cut you don't get that really. So it's just kind
Wasn't
of a
that the,
weird thing.
wasn't that the first one where they really started talking about how depending on what the host was, what the alien would vary and look different or be different? They never really said much about that first.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about it.
Right.
And I guess it's also disappointing because it was David Fincher, man. David Fincher's a great director,
I forgot that.
but I guess he had a lot of issues with the studio when he was making it. So
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's terrible. I think the prison idea is interesting.
yeah,
Um, you know, it it does have a good cast. It's got what's his name that played Tywin Lannister, Brian. Isn't it Brian something? The one who
uh,
plays the doctor.
I would just say Lannis Tyrion or was it Tyrion? No, Tyrion was the
No,
I'm too
Tywin.
yeah. Um, he was in Godzilla.
Yeah, he played the old man Lannister in
Yeah.
yeah. But
Uh,
before it just rubs me all kinds of crazy, man, because all of a sudden she's, you know what I mean? She's Hakeem Olajuwon, and you know what I mean?
yeah, I thought I don't hate any of these movies.
No.
Like Alien Resurrection gets so much hate, but I actually love that movie. I like that
Um,
director. You know what I mean? He's Jean Paul or Jean Pierre Genet
yeah.
did like
I
City.
love Prometheus too,
I thought Prometheus gets a lot of shit too, but I like Prometheus.
man.
Not a
Um,
great alien movie per se, but I thought it was a good film nonetheless.
I thought it was really smart. You know what I mean? It tied everything together really well. You know, I hear a lot of people talk about how there's a lot of holes. I don't see where there's a lot of holes in that, like everybody else. And I even like Covenant.
Covenant was it was I
It kind of committed the same sin that Aliens did, or no, Alien 3 did when it killed off
exactly
a damn good character, you know?
yeah.
Because Shaw was a badass character. All right,
Uh,
let's see what we got.
yeah, Maddie Duffy saying sexy short hair Winona Ryder. Oh yeah, man. And even that goofy offspring, I like the goofy. It's like hideous, you know what I mean? It's grotesque, which I think is what it should be.
That's a hard figure to get a hold of too, man. It actually goes pretty expensive.
Yeah, Ginger Ninja saying Prometheus much better film than Covenant. I concur with that. But
Yeah,
Covenant wasn't terrible. I also agree with that.
yeah, yeah. Everybody out there, we are both exhausted. We've had a long day, but we're going to do the best we can for you guys. So if we just kind of babble off and nod off to the side or something, cut us a break. I particularly am not getting any younger.
I'm getting a little younger every day, but still.
Hell, you look a lot younger than me too, man.
Alien Covenant had most amateurish choices. I would say it probably is one of the movies in the franchise that feels the most kind of like by the numbers creature feature a little bit, like a little more like just a monster movie, like a fun popcorn monster movie. But it was still pretty cool. I mean,
What's your favorite of Alien or Aliens? The question.
first one, easy. I mean, I love the second one, but the first one's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, I've always thought that too. There's a lot of people don't think that because I think it's because it's a slower burn, but
Yeah,
I just think it's much more solid. You know what I mean? And they're two different things, really.
they are. I think it's a lot less bloated. It's than no, I love Aliens, but I mean, Aliens is great. Obviously, it's a great film, but like for my money, I like the sort of I like them trapped on a spaceship. You know what I mean? The planet's cool and everything. Lots of aliens are cool, but I like the single alien, like that close quarters, like single threat. I think for
Like
me,
the thing, actually in space. You know what I mean? It's yeah. The cool thing about Aliens, I think, is just both of them have great cast, but anytime you throw Bill Paxton and Michael Bean and Lance Hendrickson, and you know what I mean, you're not going to go wrong. You know what I mean? Very cool. But I love the David in Prometheus and Covenant, man. I mean that dude can do no wrong anyway. Michael Fassbender.
What did you think of him in Eden Lake?
I like Eden Lake a lot. It does a really good job of making you feel uncomfortable. I have
It's
a
a,
video I did about a year and a half back, and it's where I referred to those kind of movies. The Gut Punch. I don't know if you ever seen that video,
I think I
and
did see that one. Yeah,
yeah, and it talks about that one. It just it's kind of a mix, but he's always great, man. I mean, I remember him all the way back in 300 and Inglorious Bastards. He just it doesn't matter what you give him, he's got it, man. And even if you don't like X-Men First Class and you know what I mean and stuff like that, you can take him. You know what I mean. You can always look there and say, hey, that's a good point in it.
yeah. I mean, I liked First Class. I thought he was a good Magneto.
I thought First Class was really good too, man. Now the second one's okay. I can't remember what that one's called.
That's just X2, right? Or are you talking about
The
the
prequel, the
okay,
kind of prequel where it goes back and forth and shit.
with the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's got the little dude in it that played Tyrion. That is Tyrion, right?
I think so. It's got Dahmer in it. It's Quicksilver.
Yes, it does have Dahmer. What do you think of that show, man?
I like the show. I'm a sucker for true crime stuff, and I thought they embellished some stuff and changed a few things around, but for the most part, I thought it was a pretty good accounting of that.
It stays pretty loyal, man. It actually stays pretty loyal. It tells a lot of things and goes places that none of the other shows have went yet. You know what I mean? You got the original Dahmer movie that had, it's got, see, I told you, Hawkeye in it, Jeremy Renner.
Yep.
And but that's not loyal at all. That thing does not, you know what I mean? It goes everywhere. And then you got the very first one that came out about a year after he first got arrested, was called The Secret Life of Jeffrey Dahmer. But it was low budget and it had a bunch of unknown actors in it. Um, but yeah, I like that series, man. I planned on watching like one episode, ended up binging about 4 or 5 in a row.
I
So
watched the shit out of it. Yeah.
yes, pretty cool. What's happening, Brandon? Let's see the assembly cut yet. Yeah. One thing about Aliens that I think annoys me about the extended cut is I don't mind Newt, but when she kicks that scream when her dad gets snatched and she kicks that high pitched screech, it's like nails on a chalkboard, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, that was her. I mean, look at Bob with House by the Cemetery. I mean, but that's a
Well,
masterpiece too. You know what I mean?
he's on a level all his own though, man. Bob's legendary, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure it's for a good reason. To me, this is a much better film than Calvin, but Covenant's got, you know what I mean. Covenant's got a cool fun factor. A little, I felt they went CGI in places where they didn't necessarily have to. I felt they got maybe a little lazy on physical on that,
I
but it
mean,
had.
at least it was modern CGI. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the CGI looked bad or anything.
Well, no. But these days, if you use it at all in horror of any kind, if you use any CGI, you're going to get lashings from, you know what I mean. The community will attack you over it nowadays
But
because people like Dick Smith and all them just spoiled
sure.
everybody on the physical effects.
But I think like with an alien, with a creature that doesn't move like a human, like the first one, okay, yeah. I mean, now I think people have come to think of like them as like fast and all that stuff. They're not like the slow plotting, just like dude laying there in the cubby or whatever, like in this one. But and you can't really do that practically too well. I mean, they did
Right.
like the alien queen, but even that was not really how aliens are, like how the xenomorphs are nowadays.
Yeah, I like that. Whatever they called it, they had a name they called him first. The white one that stood completely erect and the jaw didn't come forward, the one that bit the chick's throat right out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was imposing as hell, man. He was scary. Brandon says, "Did we start the movie? Is there a timestamp?" No, we hadn't started yet. I figured I'd bullshit with Ben for a minute. That give everybody a chance. That way, if they want to hook it up and get it together, that way we can all start at the same time. I don't know if it's streaming for free anywhere. Maybe Ben knows.
Um, I don't know. Maybe HBO. I don't really know though.
But if you guys know of any place where it's streaming free, hook that up. Or if you got it physical, plug it in. Everybody give me a thumbs up whenever they're ready, and we'll start it up. And you and
How
I
much?
will bullshit like we always do about anything and everything.
How many copies of this movie do you own? Do you think?
Oh, dude. Right now, I'm doing the 4K Blu-ray combo. I don't have a 4K player in this room, so I'm playing the Blu-ray on my Region player. So I got one. I got the steel book with all of them on it. I've got the oh man, here.
Yeah, that old.
You got
Yeah,
that pretty ass film arena one, don't you?
I do have that pretty ass one, and then I have this the steel book too.
Yeah, I got a steel book too, but that is just ridiculously cool.
This one is this one's ridiculous.
Your film arena and your German media book collecting just drives me crazy.
It's out of control, dude. Not gonna lie.
I'm so fucking jealous. But yeah, it's got all these on it.
I have that set too. Yeah,
I still want to get. It may sound stupid, but I want to get that real long fucking DVD collection. It's like
I have that one too. Yeah, the quadrilogy.
yeah, I want that.
I have that one, dude. That one, like back in the day, I was like, this is like the most badass thing I own. I think.
Right. I got this steel book that's got them on it. Got a cool egg on the back. Like I
Yep.
said, the 4K, I probably got the original Alien, one, two, three, probably four or five of them. So, I'm gonna kick this back off. Is the lighting better when I shut that off? Does it glare less or pixel less?
It doesn't really either way is fine.
Because I noticed watching it back that a couple of those days streams I've done, man, I pixel up real fucking bad depending on my lighting. I guess I need to break down and get one of those white ring lights.
I
That
think
won't-
it also just depends on your sort of speed. Sometimes like I'll be streaming and my internet will slow down and it'll just look like weird pixels and shit, you know.
That's true. If everybody is ready, look at here. Yeah, I'll get ready to play it here, and we'll just bullshit right along with it, man.
Yeah, we're doing the theatrical version, 1979 theatrical, right?
Yep, the OG. No, yeah, the one that played in the theaters, the one we seen on HBO for many years before we knew there was an extended.
Yeah.
So, in other words, it's the non-Tom Skerritt going kill it.
My understanding is that it's not really a director's cut because Ridley Scott prefers the theatrical. It was just like a marketing thing. Like it's called the director's cut and it has extra footage that the theatrical didn't have. But the theatrical version is the version that Ridley Scott intended us to see.
And that's the one 9 times out of 10 that you end up loving more. It's the one you grow up on. You know what I mean? It's the one that made you fall in love with the begin. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're playing. Of course, it's one of those ones that's got that crazy ass menu. It's got a different menu for each cut that you want to see.
Yeah, this one I think we're gonna have different screens. So maybe like my 20th Century Fox thing just popped up.
Yep, so did mine, and it just went away now, and now it's a black screen.
All right, you are a few seconds ahead of me. Why don't
Okay,
you pause it at like
okay.
just a round number and then I'll catch up.
All right, I've got it paused. Right as it's saying Brandywine Ronald Shusett production.
Okay. Is your timestamp 20 seconds?
23.
All right. Give me a second here.
All right. Yeah,
All right.
Days of Future Past. Ready?
We'll count to do a 1, 2, 3 go situation. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3 go.
Cool.
Sweet.
A Ridley Scott film. Yep, there it is popping up. All right.
I love the looks too. This movie is this is my favorite 4K that I own. I think it looks so good.
The Shining is a pretty good 4K. I'll tell you one that I really loved and was surprised by was God damn it when I moved Shutter Island. The 4K steelbook. I have the 4K steelbook and it looks absolutely awesome.
I think it was because like I might have gotten this. This might have been like an upgrade from the old school DVD or something when I first got this. I think modern 4K is probably probably look pretty good, but I think like just the job they did on the restoration of this is like so impressive.
Yeah. Well, this is one of those ones like they made it back when they didn't have a whole lot of money and at a time where effects weren't exactly out of this world great. They kind of did what Star Wars did, and they made their shit look really good for a very cheap price. Like they look like they're in space.
I love the production design of this movie too.
Yes, I love how this ship looks gritty and dirty. You know what I mean? It looks like it's been like they need to they need a new one bad. But they're sticking with Old Faithful. You know what I mean? It's that 1985 or 84 old clunker that you got that just won't stop working for you.
And even though like the mother room with all the white like lights all over it, it's where they do like the contact people. That looks dated as fuck, but it still looks awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the part that looks dated is it looks like the old Apple or the floppy disk type computer stuff. Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah,
I'm with you, Brandon, on the ocean, dude. That's like my greatest fear is being like stranded just in the middle of a fucking ocean.
Yes, like that's what I found so uncomfortable about what's that movie called, that found footage, open water.
Yeah,
Like that would be fucking horrible. Like it shows what Quint describes, you know what I mean, in Jaws. When he's describing that, man, it is absolutely chilling.
I like that. I like open water a lot. It was a little mismarketed, and I think because of that, a lot of people didn't like it. But I thought I like stories where it's just like a small location and you just have like a few characters playing off each other. You know, there's so much tension between them. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. Found footage is damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what I mean? It is so ridiculed and scrutinized. Like you can't please hardly anybody, let alone everybody, when it comes to found footage. There's
Yeah,
always a bitch about.
there's a new one on Shutter called Deadstream. I recommend that. It's a really fun movie.
Cool.
Yeah,
About
man, it's great.
6 or 8 months ago, did you see that one called "Scare Me," where they tell these fucking
Yeah,
stories to each other?
yeah.
She is such a smart ass, and he's right there talking about how he's the troll and shit, and she's making it hard as fuck for him to tell his story, and she's making it like he's some kind of joke. And what was his troll's name? Like fucking Dean or Brad or something. And it was something just basic like that.
I guess these old school CRTs, also like the CRT monitors,
Mm-hmm.
also are dated. But I mean, look how amazing this all looks.
Yeah, and they didn't spend a shitload of money on it either. You know what I mean? Like I said, I kind of compared it to Star Wars because it was around the same time frame. Like Star Wars was ridiculously cheap made for as
Yeah.
look as great as the first one looked. I mean, it was incredible,
I
and they
mean,
couldn't. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like this hallway and everything. I mean, it I love the design of the Nostromo, man. It looks great.
Yeah, they used the Purina sign.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
And then I like, the door opens and you get like the rush of air out. I mean, that's a
Right.
pretty I mean,
Great
look at
cast,
those
man.
textured walls, dude. How awesome is that looking is that fucking room?
Lots of work went into that. Lots of detail, man. Lots of love went into that set design.
It sort of reminds me of like Frank Lloyd Wright. Like in Blade Runner, the tiles in Deckard's apartment.
Uh huh.
Uh, it sort of reminds me like of that, you know, general aesthetic, but like much larger. But it just
Yeah.
looks like, beautiful.
The control room looks so tired and dirty and beat up. Yet you go here where the pods are, where they sleep,
Yeah.
where the hyper sleep, and it's clean as fuck. It looks like a hospital room. Just honestly don't like the Alien director's cut or the Alien special edition. I always go theatrics. Yeah, yeah, that's just like comfort food. I think I do like, for some reason, I love Tom Skerritt all pinned in that wall going kill it. I can't help it. I just love that. Don't get me wrong, I like Tom Skerritt, but I liked him suffering in that part too. He did a movie years back. Skerritt did, called, I don't know if you ever seen it, but it's I don't remember if it was a made for HBO movie or not, but it's called Savage Purpose, and it was about it was kind of like the Ghost in the Darkness, where the lions come and start eating people. Well, that's what this was. It starred him and Michelle Phillips from The Mamas and the Papas.
Hmm. I have never
That's
seen it.
that's one a lot of people haven't seen it, but it's really good. It's got some good effects too, man. These lions eat the um, and that's a strange co-star. I know Michelle Phillips from The Mamas and Papas.
Yeah.
She did try to be an actress for a minute, I guess. She was basically the eye candy for the Mamas and the Papas because they weren't a real pretty group of folks in the Mamas and the Papas,
Yeah.
except her, of course.
I guess like I think back then you could get away with a lot more than you do nowadays with music. Nowadays, it's probably like in pop music, it's probably a little more important that you look cool and can like make good music. You know?
Yeah, you either got to look cool or look really dweebish. One or the other. You got to go one way or the other. Either
Yeah.
really weird or really hot. You know, you can't go. You can't just be a regular dude anymore. No.
Was
But
this Sigourney Weaver's first movie? Do you know?
I think she had done a little bit here and there, but this is her first actual starring role. I mean, she definitely ran with it. Um, she's not my favorite heroine or whatever, but you know what I mean. I think a lot of other people like her a lot more than I do. But I mean, she's all right. I mean, I'm picky as fuck with that shit though. Like one of my favorites still to me is the chick from Your Next.
Oh yeah,
I
Aaron.
love that. They broke new ground on that.
I pulled that one off the shelf to watch this October. I haven't watched it yet, but
I guess there's a new one that's got a final girl like her that kicks ass and is almost like Rambo. You know what I mean? I can't remember what it's called. My son was telling me.
there was a movie that had a badass chick called the Hunt. Is that what it was called? Where it was like these rich liberals like hunting humans.
Yeah, I see.
That was
Yeah. Who was the main chick that was the asshole in that? The main villain chick?
uh, I'm not gonna remember her name because I'm tired as fuck, but she was like a big A-list.
Yeah.
Wasn't she in like fuck? What's the hell's her name? I'll Google it.
I mean, she's really well known. And it's right there in my brain someplace. I mean, I know, but I have no idea.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she was like an A-lister, right?
Yes, yes. And it was
Hillary,
unusual for her to play a villain.
Hillary Swank.
Yes,
We
that was
nominated
really
for an
weird.
Oscar too, right? For like Boys Don't Cry or whatever.
Yeah, she won for that and for $1 Million Baby.
I didn't know she was Australian, Ginger Ninja. That's interesting.
Hmm. John Hurt, man. When I was a kid, I always used to get the names William Hurt and John Hurt confused. But John Hurt, he was the Elephant Man.
I still get them confused in my mind, to be honest with you.
Did you know William Hurt died? I did not know that until the other day.
I remember it was like this year, right? Like or last year or something like that. It was pretty recent.
Like like somewhere between 6 and 10 months, maybe.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. I always really liked William Hurt, man. You remember what's that
Altered
called?
States.
Yes, that movie. Yeah, that was his first movie.
I have not watched that movie maybe since the 80s. It's been a long ass time.
I've got the DVD up here. It's one of those old snap click cases.
Yeah.
But I liked him in the Big Chill. The Big Chill was badass film, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember that one too much. I remember seeing it, and that's about it. There's of course a big chunk of my life that I don't quite remember. But
Yeah. Oh, the Yaphet here just died not long ago, and so did Ash. The guy that plays Ash, he died too. Ian. Yeah.
Ian
Sorry, guys.
Holt, is that his name? Is it
Yeah.
Ian? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I remembered one for once. Nice.
Yeah, like I say, sorry, guys. Yeah, usually shit that I do know. Tonight, you're hearing me say a lot of I don't know, I don't remember, or that one guy type thing. You know, a little under the weather as far as that goes. But hey, Brandon said difference between xenomorphs then and now is the modern xenomorph feels more like the raptors in Jurassic World.
I think they made him, end up being a little less humanoid and a little more like animalistic.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is a good direction to take them. But then because they're a little less humanoid, then you can't quite get away with a human in a suit as much as you could back in the day.
yeah. But the way they shot it, like in this one, for instance, it's really smart the way they shoot it to where you can't tell. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that one thing where it just shows him kind of coming forward, and you kind of see the alien's hands doing this type thing. That was only the top half of the alien.
I think, I mean, we got to talk about we're talking about production design a little bit of the Nostromo, but what about that creature design, dude? H.R. Geiger just killing it.
He's out there, man. There was a perfect guy to pick to do that because his brain is in a different place than everybody else's. That's what you need.
And he was like he was like a really good artist too. Like,
Oh hell yeah,
he worked in a lot of different media, you know?
he's so proud. To him, that's like his baby. The xenomorph is his child. You know what I mean? He has that kind of love for it, and it's really cool to see that kind of passion. I love that.
There was a documentary called Dark Star that was all about H.R. Geiger.
Um,
I recommend watching it, but it's pretty cool because a lot of it's filmed in his house, which is like a Geiger museum, and he's got
cool.
like this trolley that runs like through his house and all around his grounds, and he's got like all these weird sculptures and shit. It's pretty awesome.
It's like he's like he's just one of those brilliant, weird. You know what I mean? He's just one of
He
those
is the
genius weird fellows. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, like if he was a major painter, he would be. You know what I mean? He would be the kind that never went to the to the actual fucking place where they have the painting.
Like the Louvre or something.
Yeah, the place where they have the showings where everybody comes and they all obnoxious walk around looking at the paintings.
Yeah.
God, I'm tired of forgetting what I'm talking about now. I can't describe shit. It's driving me fucking crazy.
Look at these models, by the way.
Yes,
Kind of a little bit of not really a lost art because people still make models, but like,
they still
man,
do
these
that.
are
Yeah.
some cool ass models. Like the Nostromo was a cool ass model, and it was big too.
Well, shit. Even Avatar still does that. So it's like they used models along with a lot of CGI. Yeah,
Uh,
you ever notice that nobody ever bitched about all the CGI in Avatar?
I think it was so cutting edge at the time uh, that a lot of people really enjoyed sort of how immersive it was. You know,
Yeah, it's horror that gets all the shit when they use CGI.
Ninja Ninja talking about old Amiga 500 game called Dark Side that was all designed by Geiger. There's a new game that's like, I don't even know if it's released yet, but I've seen gameplay from it that's all like very Geiger influenced, very biomechanical looking. It looks pretty awesome.
I, I've been wanting to play an alien video game, but my 15-year-old tells me that since I've been out of the loop playing video games for so long,
Yeah.
he says all the alien games are kind of hard, and that I would just kind of get pissed off if I tried to play it because I just I've been out of the loops for so long.
I want to say Alien Isolation I played, and that was a cool one. That was pretty like all immersive and shit, you know.
That's the one that I was wanting to play, and he was letting me know that I'd probably get mad because I just suck now at games. He said it really nicely, though. No offense, Dad, but you're just not a good game player anymore. My 15-year-old can insult you in such a nice, kind,
I
well
know,
respected, in a nice, respectable way. He'll make me feel like the greatest dad on earth at the same time, like an old dumbass that's out of
right?
touch.
Yeah, out of touch, right?
Yeah, it's like no, don't play it. Let's play this instead. Let's play one of your old school games. Let's play Ninja Game.
Yeah, the effects. I mean, this movie visually holds up 100%. There's nothing that looks like I was saying. Like the CRTs are dated, but they still look awesome. Like all the
Right?
graphics that they throw on it looks like
Mhm.
industrial. You know, like it looks
Yeah,
cool, man.
and hell, I mean, and they could even play it off. You could even do a mind cannon thing where that's just how shit looks there. You know what I mean? because they're supposed to be. What years is these aliens supposed to take place? Like the first one, do you know?
I don't remember.
200 or 300 years ahead of us, and
Yeah, let me see. Alien,
so there's no telling what shit would look like, you know?
alien timeline. Let's see what we get here.
2000, 23 something, maybe 24.
Looks like. Oh wait, Alien takes place 2 decades after Covenant in 2122. It says. Ripley wakes up from stasis 57 years later in Aliens. So I guess it's 2122.
Oh, okay. Not as far as I
Basically,
thought.
100 years in the future, dude.
I could have swore it was further than that.
Well, back then it was further. But
Right? Right. Yeah, I was 6 years old when the first one came out.
I was 4.
And I didn't actually see the original Alien until I was probably 13 years old, 14.
Now, I saw this when I was I saw the end of this when I was a kid. My dad was like, uh, he's not like a horror dude. So he was like telling me as a little tiny kid, like, oh, this is the scariest movie that's ever been made. It terrified me. Like, the ending of it is like the scariest thing I've ever seen. And I watched just the ending of it without all the buildup and not. I was a little bitch back then, dude. I was scared of everything, and like this, I was like, that's not scary. And I was like, possibly because it was not like it was set in space. Like I'm not
Right.
in space. What's the threat, you know? Um, but also because you don't have all the buildup, all that atmosphere, all that's like slow buildup. That by the time you actually like, if you watch it from start to finish, it's a different experience than just watching the last 15 minutes.
I love how they build up. I mean, like you don't know what the alien looks like, and if you haven't seen all of them, like say you seen Alien when it was new and all the sequels hadn't happened yet, the
Yeah,
way
I
it
saw
builds it up when you first finally see it, you're like, what the fuck? Because it's completely unique.
I
You
saw
know,
before I saw the sequel. I saw Alien, and I was like, I mean, yeah, it's pretty badass.
like I watched Aliens from beginning to end before I watched Alien from beginning to end. Uh,
Oh, okay.
I gave that one a little bit more of a chance. I think I was a little bit more into checking that one out. I guess because I was into Terminator and it had Reese in it, so I was like, hell yeah. The next thing I know, I was like, why in the hell haven't I seen that first one that much?
I mean, I think depending on your age, if you're a little younger, maybe Aliens 2 pacing is a little better,
Yeah.
or maybe you're just like tolerating it a little more.
I was more horror than I was sci-fi horror too. I hadn't really given sci-fi horror a chance yet. I was all strictly horror. It had to be pea soup or stabbings or something, throat cutting or something.
Sure.
I hadn't given the alien a chance yet. I don't.
I absolutely love the sort of like conceptualization of the gestation, like the various stages of this thing. Like it's just it's pretty fucking cool, man. From the egg to the where and everything looks like a goddamn cock or a vagina. It's just like it looks
Yeah, right.
very organic. Uh,
Yeah, I think that's something else that pissed people off about Alien Covenant. Not only was Shaw dead, but unspeakable sexual, all kinds of things that went on and happened to that poor chick, man. It was actually disturbing because when it started showing shit and shit down her throat and all this and that, and her split open, it's like, oh my god. And if you watch a couple of there's a couple of theory videos on here that a couple of different people did. Like the uh, I don't remember what his name is, but he does mainly alien stuff on YouTube. And the way he described it, man, was just so horrific. Like David had gotten all weird.
I think I think that sort of like android lack of empathy thing is very chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why did he think he was in love with her when he didn't have a clue, even though he was a little more human on purpose? what made him think he could possibly know what love is? I mean, it's impossible. You got to have a soul, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a philosophical question that no one knows the
Yeah.
answer to.
Then again, what is love? When you come down to it, everybody has their own interpretation.
I mean, I guess it really what love is going to break down to like neurotransmitters firing in a certain order or whatever. I guess
Yeah.
theoretically you could like simulate that, you know.
Yeah. I'm a little more on the. I don't know. I guess there's a lot of people that believe that love is a state of mind, and you can convince yourself, and without your intelligence and logic, you can't fall in love. I'm a little more on the side where it comes from the soul.
I mean,
So
I'm
I'm a
I'm not
hippie, I guess.
I'm not saying that it doesn't come from the soul, but I'm saying the way that we experience almost everything gets transferred through in my personal opinion. You know, I came my parents are scientists. My dad was like they're both like neuroscientists, so
Oh, okay. Damn.
I was just raised like a weirdo, I guess.
The big brains on Ben's parents. Jesus.
Dude, I'm the only person in my family that doesn't have a PhD. I'm like the super black sheep, like drug addict. You know?
My family are a bunch of, pot smoking, drug abusing, fucking alcoholic, fucking high school dropout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. Most of them are really, you know, like, I don't know. But
I'm
hey,
I'm literally the only person in my family that hasn't been a college professor.
but you come off smart though. You know what I mean? It's just when you speak and everything, you come off like someone with intelligence, you know?
I appreciate that. I've always felt like a weird fucking black sheep outsider in my family,
Well,
but
hey,
yeah,
you can be that all day, but still be smart, you know?
I
When I'm in my right head, I'm smart, believe it or not.
I believe it.
I'm just my brain has withstood a lot of damage in the past in many different ways. I'll just leave it at that.
I've done some weird shit to my brain. That's true.
I had a good time when I was young. I'll put that.
I got sober pretty young, but I did put a lot of things in my body.
Yeah, I I even hit the alcohol real heavy for several years after my daughter passed away back in '98. I hit the bottle pretty heavy for about 10 or 12 straight years. So
I went to rehab. I got sober when I was 18 years old. So
I didn't know you did.
and I've stayed sober ever since. So it's been a long time. But I did, you know, I
I
did.
had no idea you'd been to rehab.
Yeah, yeah, back in '94, dude.
I've managed to avoid that somehow. Somehow I've managed to just stop a lot of shit. Like one day I woke up, didn't want to drink anymore, and I didn't. You know what I mean? With all those years of drinking, all the drinking I did. I mean, you're talking 6 or 7 days a week for 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day for 10, 11, 12 years, and somehow I didn't get any kind of illness from quitting it. Just one day I just quit, just never did it again, and I wasn't even sick from it.
I mean, I think, you know, some people we're all built differently, you know?
Um, One day, I noticed a lump right here, a little bit below my ribs. There was a little bit of a lump, and I had a pain right there. And the pain started in my back. So it was in the same place in the back as in the front. It hurt really bad, and it was a lump there. And I don't remember who it was, but I talked to them. They checked it out, and they said, "Dude, that's your liver, man." And I was like, "What?" They said, "You need to stop drinking." So I stopped, started drinking a bunch of water within a couple of days. So, in other words, I've damaged the fuck out of my liver. But that
Yeah,
wasn't good enough for me because I watched an old alcoholic die of cirrhosis, and it was absolutely horrible.
I
Like
believe.
he in the end stages he bled. His eyes bled. It's just everything. It was horrible. And I said, not me.
Well, I'm glad you were able to do that, dude.
Yeah, not me. I wasn't gonna lay around with my eyes bleeding. I mean, he's laying around screaming like he was burning. He said he felt like he just screaming like he was burning because he got to die at home because his wife was a registered nurse and they had done everything they could for him. so she knew how to take care. Well, um, he was the stepfather of a friend of mine that I grew up with, through teenage years, and as a young adult. And I just happened to be over there toward one of the last days that he was alive. And I was in there. I was talking to him. A friend of mine named Shannon. He was talking, and all of a sudden I hear screaming back here. I was like, "Holy shit, what's that?" And Shannon's like, "That's Tony. His stepdad." I said, "What the hell? He's dying." And he was screaming, "I'm burning," and all this kind of shit. I mean, it was just unreal.
Sounds terrifying.
I mean, it sounds dramatic, but that's exactly the way it went down. And then, like maybe a year or so later, I was talking to him again, and he kind of described to me what had went on with it, and I said, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, not a good way to go. I'd probably rather get torn up by a xenomorph, to be honest with you.
Because he said he laid around for in his end stages there. He laid around like that in that state for like a week or two. It's like, why didn't they do the morphine thing with him? You know what I mean? And let him. I mean, geez.
Now, not to change the subject, but this room is amazing, dude. Like,
It's
and
yeah,
I like how they tied it back in, with the Prometheus, right?
yeah. I didn't think there was that many holes. I thought it was pretty cool, man. How they explained the space jockey.
One of the things I want to like one of the things about Prometheus that I remember is when they see the little snake dude, and the little snake little eyeball, and he's like, "Hey, dude," and it wraps around him, and
Yeah,
like, you know, people think like what that felt just like a real reaction to me, and also like in Friday 13th it's part 4 when he's like, "You're killing me, he's killing me," like he's getting
yeah.
like killed down in the basement, like people say that's like fake as shit or whatever, but what are you gonna say, dude? Like you're gonna like you're not really gonna believe it. You're gonna just be like, oh my god, this dude's fucking killing me. You're gonna I
I
mean,
thought that was chilling when he was hollering that. Oh, he's killing me. Yeah, that was
a,
Sandra's brother. Yeah.
a lot of people think it's like super goofy and like stupid, but I was like, that to me felt real. Like, what are you gonna say?
I don't think there is some set template. You know what I mean? It's just whatever's going to strike your brain at the time. It's like you're not going to be able to calculate it. So there's no telling what's going to come out of your mouth.
Well, you could be reciting poetry for all you know.
You may be going, please stop fucking killing. Instead of going, he's killing me, you may be going, please stop killing me, ugly
Yeah,
motherfucker.
exactly. You're gonna be like, fuck, it was Yaphet Kotto. That was that dude's name.
Yeah. Get somebody, keep him from killing me. How about that? Yeah, you can say that. Somebody get a knife or something, stab this some bitch. Don't stand there and look at me.
But that always felt like he's like, oh, god, oh shit, like I don't know. That felt like
Yeah.
one of the more realistic things in that movie.
Yeah, he died, as a matter of fact. Ted White did.
Yeah, I know. Just like a few days ago, man.
He was like 90 some years old, so that made him what, in his 60s when he played Jason.
I mean, he looked like a mature dude. He was my second favorite, Jason.
Yeah, he was my second too. Mine, of course, is Brooker from part 3.
Yeah,
Both of my Jasons are dead now.
yeah.
Damn.
I wonder if we got. Are you a Kane Hodder next?
um I actually like Kane better as Victor Crowley than I did as Jason.
Yeah.
Something about Crowley I think is just so underutilized and underappreciated. That could be why, because the third one and shit on it isn't as good as maybe the first one. I think is absolutely brilliant. It's fucking hilarious. At the same time, it's got great blood and gore. But
I
that one dude is hilarious as fuck in that first one.
I was I love this shot too. It's like you it has like a real feel of vastness when they're sort of entering this egg chamber area. Um, but
Yeah.
like I'm not a big Hatchet fan. I like the sequels more than the first one. I was disappointed
Really?
when I thought because I think it was marketing. The marketing was like a Return of the Great slasher, and I was like, oh, like My Bloody Valentine. Let's get this going. It's going to be like a serious like The Burning or something. It's like going to be a return to the great slashers. But
It's
they meant a different era of great slashers.
Hatchet's like Wrong Turn meets Friday 13th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
except for with a poke in the side of humor going on there. Like my favorite character in that first one is that black dude. He's hilarious. He's talking shit. He's like, "Come on, you ugly pussy face motherfucker." It just, I don't know why that dude just cracked me up. I'm surprised you don't like the first half.
I think I think I was so disappointed. Like, I'm not saying I haven't really given it maybe a second chance enough. Like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation was a similar thing. And actually the Friday 13th remake also
Yeah,
I had like a similar thing where I was like, dude, you got Marcus Nespel, like he's gonna do what he did to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought that was a fantastic remake, and I was like, this is gonna be awesome, but it was a lot more sort of paint by numbers like sequel, and so I was pretty disappointed when I first saw it, but I've kind of come around on it. I enjoy it for what it is these days.
the
And
Friday 13th remake is a couple of really cool characters that you actually like, away from being a really good show, man.
yeah, the characters were bad, man. They were like the worst generic Friday the 13th characters, in the franchise. Like,
The most unlikable one is the most entertaining one. That Trent dude. You
yeah.
know, your tits are stupendous.
So juicy, dude.
They're just so juicy. They're stupendous.
Dude, your
I,
tits are so fucking juicy, bro.
yeah, I'd love when Jason kills him and sticks him on the back of the truck as it drives away.
Yeah.
And there he goes away. Fucking just, yeah. He sends him on his way. Get out of here.
Uh, Maddie's saying that Paramount Fridays have a great fun tone that's lost in the remake. I agree with that. It was like it didn't go quite dark and like gritty enough. Like I felt like Texas Chainsaw Massacre went. It was just a good dark sort of modern vision of that story. And I thought Friday 13th, okay, let's do the same director, like same like remaking this like well loved horror franchise first movie. Let's see, this is gonna be awesome. And I was pretty disappointed when I first saw it, but
Man. Um,
I do like Derek Mears as Jason though.
yeah, he looks like that dude looks like in real life he would be like one of the fucking Hills Have Eyes people.
He's like in a lowered eye away from being an actual Jason Voorhees. You know what I mean? Like someone threw a
Yeah,
toxic waste on him, and all of a sudden he's going to be.
he's one drowning away. Yeah,
I have a friend who's like friends with him, and like
really.
apparently he's like the super nicest dude ever.
Yeah, I seen an interview with him. He seemed really cool and personable. Yeah,
And he's a horror lover too.
yeah. I heard him talking about how he was excited about playing. Like he wanted to play Jason. Like he had passion for it, and I thought that was cool. So kind of like the dude that ended up in this latest horrible Halloween trilogy. At least the guy playing Michael was a Halloween fan and was a big Nick Castle fan.
He did good, man.
Yeah.
I liked him as Michael Myers.
Yes,
I didn't like Corey as Michael Myers so much. Speaking of
Corey was the best part about that movie, though. Corey was the best. You know,
maybe, but like I
it
didn't.
didn't belong there.
I think it really. I bet if they have like a bunch of footage that they didn't use, like, and they re-edited it together, it could be like a much more compelling film. Like conceptually, I thought some of the stuff they did was interesting, but
Yeah,
I
I
just like
guess there's another ending too. I hate to think what happens in that.
I didn't hate ends, but I know people on both sides, man. I know some people that absolutely love it.
I fucking despise it, man. Like
I don't despise it. I don't exactly love it.
they did to him what you don't do to him. You don't. You know what I mean? He has to. Now you've humanized him, and that's the last thing you should do with Michael Myers. He's supposed to be the boogeyman. You know what I mean? He. It's like, where is he? But they forgot that in 1978 or 80. Well, in 81 when they decided to make them brother and sister. Back in the day, they lost that whole mystique.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think the biggest failure of Ends to me is that as the third part of a trilogy, it just fails miserably. It does. They did not stick the landing. Like as a standalone film,
Hmm.
it's it would be a bit of a different story in my opinion. But just positioned as the third film of a franchise that where you have to like
And
resolve. I like the first two movies. I like 2018 quite a bit, and I thought Halloween Kills was super fun.
that trilogy was dead in the water to me. The second it didn't live up to everything that 78 did. You know what I mean? I am so biased that it could have been the greatest thing next to sliced bread, man. And I still would have been like, man,
But I think
I'll
20
admit that.
the thing about 2018, some people have like they don't like the weird tone and the weird like humor and stuff. To me, James Jude Courtney and the way that they portrayed Michael Myers was brutal as fuck. And because I felt like they did Michael Myers justice, I was on board for that movie 100%.
Could have done without the doctor, that little stupid little doctor thing that happened.
Yeah.
I never understood that. It's like, what the hell
I
is
mean,
going
like
on?
there's critiques to be made in the film, but the most important thing of a Halloween film, in my opinion, is Michael Myers, and again, that's kind of where this latest one is falling a little short. But
Well, all except for well, Halloween Kills is the only one that he's the star of. Otherwise, it's Jamie Lee Curtis and her family. Those movies are about her and her family, not Michael Myers. That's what she wanted.
yeah, and Maddie's saying it's pretty ambiguous when Corey acquires transcending. Uh, I thought thematically they were a little heavy handed with like transference of evil throughout, showing the bullies and the bullies getting bullied and all that stuff. Like it
Yeah.
felt, I felt like they could have done it a lot more subtly. And then the biggest issue for me is Corey's story arc. I didn't buy any of it, dude. Like we just barely
Right.
meet this dude. They go out on like a dancing date, and all of a sudden they're fucking like soulmates, and like
Yeah.
okay, people fall in love quickly, but like show us a montage of them have falling in love or something for fuck's sake, not just like
Mr. H. Mr. H from Mr. H reviews says that Halloween Ends is about Allison's vagina. That's the way he described it. It's all about her vagina and what her vagina wants. I said, okay.
I guess that's one viewpoint.
Yeah, the British have a different way of looking at things and going about things. You know what I mean? They have a straightforward but different way of describing shit. It's actually pretty cool to listen to because they can tell shit so brutally and make it sound so insulting, but yet with class. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like hearing a British dude say the word cunt over and over. It's just
Kind.
like
Yeah.
wow. I imagine like
Yeah.
the queen sort of like at a big fancy feast being like, "Pass me the butter, cunt," and you're
You
like,
are
"Oh, that
insufferable cunt. Yes.
sounds so fancy."
Yeah. It's that stiff upper lip, man. They could just yeah. Yeah, it's great. I love that accent. It's just British Australian, you know, and I love that accent.
Well, those are two different accents.
Right. And then you've also got what's the other one that's just like Australian but not at all if you talk to them.
New Zealand,
Yes.
yeah, they're
I can't tell the difference, man. Like I called Ninja I called Ginja Ninja. I called him a Brit one day, and he was like, "No, actually, I'm from down under." And I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, sorry, man. Typical American, huh?" And he's like, "Oh, that's okay." I was like,
There's I don't know, Ginger Ninja. Have you seen the reels of the dude who does like what if Twilight was Australian? It's just like this dude
"No,
playing like the two characters, Edward and what's her face. And
yeah,
it's just like he's like speaking their lines in this like super deadpan like Australian accent. It's pretty awesome.
I know Australia makes some kick-ass horror movies, man."
Yeah, man, they do.
And
they do this thing where they kill dogs all the time in their movies, and I don't like it because I like dogs a lot, but it's
Right.
also kind of like very effective because I like dogs a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it has an impact on me, in a way that maybe it wouldn't if they didn't kill the dog. But it's weird that they kill dogs like in every fucking horror movie.
So I love the killer in Wolf Creek, man. He
Yeah,
is so fucking good.
he was.
He's like, I always use a rubber with you cunts. Well, I don't know where you've been.
Yeah,
He's like, and he's laughing. He's just like, he's a sick motherfucker. It's great.
I I like the first Wolf Creek, but more than the second one. But I know a lot of people that prefer the sequel to it. It was a little
Bro,
more straight up slasher, formula. But I like the first one. First one felt like really fresh when it came out. It felt very dark, and I thought it was really awesome.
one
Yeah,
thing they did in the second one, though, is they did a good job of him upping the level. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He didn't come out as less effective as he did in the original, like a lot of films will do. Like
I like
he
this.
upped his shit.
I like the sequel a lot. I like the series too. I thought that season two was better than the first season, but I like both seasons.
I like the protagonist better in the first Wolf Creek than the second. I think that's probably what it is for me.
Yeah. Well, it's also like sort of a little more of a sprawling hunt, right?
Hmm.
It's sort of like a little more like daytime cat and mouse situations and stuff. I mean, it was
Right.
cool, and then like he I guess part of it was pretty interesting in how he's hanging out and they're doing like the quiz stuff down and getting like taking drinks and stuff when he's got him captive and the British dude's trying to be like super charming and nice and shit.
Mm,
So I guess you get to see him sort of in his pre-kidnapping. You get to see that sort of aspect of his personality is still there, even though the dude's fully in his trap at that point.
yeah, I think he does a great job of coming somewhere between cruel and batshit crazy. Like like you look in his eye and the guy looks fucking crazier than hell, but at the same time you can tell he's in control. It's a really scary mix that killer is.
Yeah, he's definitely like a sadist, right? Like you get like he really enjoys inflicting like
Oh yeah, that
uh
that that's his life's dream. Hell yeah.
yeah.
It was
Uh,
taken from the backpacker killer, the actual backpacker killer. Of course, it's not the same at all, but
yeah. I have him a lot. That's what Ginger
yeah,
Ninja was just saying.
yes. Because such a controversy, people demand it not be released in the theater.
Oh, the hunt.
Okay, he says, I did not know I have a wrench. Yep, you got a wrench. Ben should have a wrench too. I've given quite a I always make my friends the people that's going to be around there. I always make them moderators. Not like some people demoted me and fired me from it, not mentioning any names.
Yeah, yeah,
I got to stand the fuck off of that, man. I'm just playing around with him.
yeah.
Of course, it did hurt my feelings. I'm a sensitive guy.
He's got a lot of dudes now. Like his streams are real big.
He's a good content creator, and he works all the time, man.
Yeah.
Like I try to put my shit around his so that I can get some people in the chat because otherwise he'll take that shit right away from people.
Dude, he'll like upload like 6 fucking videos a day or some shit. I'm like, I have like notifications turned on and it's always just like night watch zone, night watch zone, night watch zone. I'm like, Jesus fuck, dude.
Like in 15 months, 15, 16 months, he's got like 600 videos.
Yeah.
I've got like 99 now. This is my 99th.
I've got hundreds of unlisted videos, but I
Yeah.
don't have that much like listed content on the channel.
Yeah, but you can never tell what you're going to be doing, man. You'll whip out the guitar and play some fucking Guns N' Roses and shit. You know what I mean? I loved when he did Home Sweet Home, man. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, nice, yeah. I've been as soon as like October. I don't want to jump into remaking content in October because it's overload, man. There's too much. But I do plan on like getting back into it very soon. I got a bunch of cool shit to unbox and show collection updates and whatnot.
You're a different kind of content creator. You're not a guy that's going to come out and talk about the new release and what does everybody think about it. You're not that kind of a creator. You're
I
very unique.
I did do a lot of like reviews back in the day. And I enjoy stuff like this, streaming, having like conversations, like
Yes.
I like this quite a bit. This type of shit saved my fucking soul during the pandemic because I just live alone and I was like just so isolated that without streaming with my homies, like I would have been super depressed, man.
Why ain't there no Mrs. Cadaver or anything like that?
Uh
I've never heard anything like that from you.
there have been Mrs. Cadavers in the past. But like um broke up with the last Mrs. Cadaver during the pandemic and
Have you been
it's,
married before?
not fully married, no. Never been married. No, I don't have any children. But I've had, I'm also
Okay.
yeah.
I've been engaged like 4 times. I've been married once, and the divorce is getting ready to happen, be finalized here soon. And then there will be following that, not long after, there will be a new Mrs. Fold.
I feel like there could have been I could have gotten married a few times and I'm pretty sure I would have regretted the shit out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
hindsight's 2020. Yeah,
yeah.
just
But
considering it's not still going on tells you it probably wouldn't have worked.
yeah. And some of those were like the worst relationships. They were long and shit, but not good.
You know, just because this is great doesn't mean you need to make a union out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But us being human, it's easy for us to confuse that shit. You know what I mean? Like when you're real young, you think the fact that you have great sexual encounters every time is like, well, maybe we should get married. And it's like 6 months down the line, you're like, well, I'm glad we didn't do that, damn, because that's only great for so long. You know what I mean? It's not anything to base the rest of your life on because when you're fucking 82, your sex life's not gonna be. It's not gonna matter like it did when you were 30.
That is sounds accurate to me.
You better have something better in common than that.
Yeah, that will fade a bit.
Yes.
That
It's pretty weird when you go ahead.
I was gonna say that scene they just dissected the face hugger. That's like a really cool scene. I think they got like an actual horseshoe crab. Uh but it looks just so like realistic, man.
Yes. It's almost like some new kind of a shellfish or something taken out of the shell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got that bottom part that looks like flesh, man. I mean, it does.
I think they did do a horseshoe crab. Uh
Wow.
is what they actually use there for like sort of the guts and stuff.
Right. Let's see. Very favorite, oh, it must be a different. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday, Katie. Hope you're at least enjoying yourself. This, you know what I mean? This is kind of a mixed bag. Like I said, we're both a couple of tired guys, but we're having a great time. I am anyway. I love to sit around and just bullshit aimlessly over movies and just whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours is never about the movie, but it's about everything. And that's fun, man. That's fun because all of my other watch alongs, we talk about the movie or this or that and everything. Mine that I do with you are completely different. They are completely unique.
I think just let it go where it goes. Sometimes it's nice to have like if you have like multiple people. Sometimes it's nice to have a little more directed conversation. But like I mean, it's just hanging out.
Well, you're more Gabby though. You know what I mean? You're more one to talk, and that and so am I, and that just mixes.
Yeah,
And some of the other people, some of the other co-watchers that I'll do this with, I may not know them as well. So basically, what we have mostly in common is the fact that we're watching the same movie at the same time.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I haven't built up a relationship with some of them yet. Now, with Steele's a unique guy anyway. Cool as fuck, but a very, very unique guy anyway. and his outlooks on movies and the way he describes them, he makes a really good he does a really good I don't know, commentary. It's a real good commentary to do with him because he has a unique way of putting shit. And when you put me and him together, you get like almost too much truth between the two of us. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's quite R-rated, you know, as far as language and shit goes too. Like if I was trying to be monetized, if I was big enough to be monetized, mine and Steele's watch alongs would not work. They'd be like, no,
Maddie's out. Have a good night, Maddie. Thanks for hanging out.
yeah, thanks. I'm trying to get in the chat here where I can hit it one after the other here, but I'm like all over the place with it.
Yeah.
Starting right here with Ginja Ninja, I'm going to get everyone as they come, and if I fall back, I'm going to go back up and I'm going to follow it because I am doing a horrible job tonight.
You're a ways back. I think I'm
Yeah,
scrolling.
I'm all fucked up, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but I'm catching up right now, guys. I got my shit together. This is a goal. He says, I'm in Indiana Jones 5 next year will be his final on-screen film, but I guess not. They're doing another Indiana Jones.
They are.
Dave's in the chat. Hey, what's up, man? Says hello, guys. How you doing? And he says, and I do like the Dallas scene added at the end, but it breaks the pace and tension of the climax. That's the problem with adding in some of the extra stuff years later. Sometimes Ninja says H.R. Geiger designs are awesome. Yes, he is a perfect mix of fucking just out there weird, and he's kind of like Sigmund Freud,
Yeah.
except for Sigmund Freud's outlook was everything sexual one way or another.
Yeah.
Well, Geiger bases all of his designs. You know, he starts with his crotch, and then he goes from there when he makes his design.
He goes from there to her crotch.
Right. And then anybody else that wants to get involved, yeah.
Anyone else's crotch is around, he's going there.
As long as it's attractive to him, he's like, yes, bring them all.
But he has a
Thanks.
I mean, he started a whole subgenre of like tattooing. Like his art has inspired like all the biomechanical tattoo stuff you see. Like,
Got its own subgenre, yeah. There's tribal, and then there's the H.R. Geiger tattooing. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I mean, if you know somebody that's good enough to do that kind of shit, you can have some killer work on you,
yeah, I mean,
though.
the aesthetic is great.
Um, my son and I have for the first time ever, I've watched some of that Inked. It's got what's his name on it? I can't remember. The guitar player.
Dude from Jane's Addiction.
Yeah,
I'm spacing his name, but
Dave Navarro.
that's the one. Yeah,
That's actually an interesting show, man.
I've watched. I think maybe 5 seasons of it or something. Yeah, I always find it entertaining.
He insists because there's no telling what Ryan, my 15-year-old, is going to be watching, man. Sometimes I'll just come across there and we'll start watching. You know, this scene right here. We're at the chestburster scene,
Yeah.
and this was back in 1979 when this happened. People didn't know what the hell was happening yet, but when it burst out of there,
This freaked people out, dude. Like,
there's a reason why this is one of the most famous, well-known scenes ever.
yeah. And apparently, like the actors didn't exactly know what was going to happen either. So, like, you get
They
like,
didn't expect a big explosion of blood. So when the chick from the Birds and Invasion of the Bystanders yells and she goes,
oh,
"Oh my
no.
god!" That was actually her going fuck because they hit her right in the face.
Oh God.
The problem with it is once you see Spaceballs, you never see this scene the same.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
What's wrong with you?
This still looks amazing, though.
Yes, yes. And they do a great job of hiding the fact that they're sliding it across the table. You know what I mean?
And like I said, the gestation of this organism was like really fascinating, man. Like, it's got it like started off that had the egg and then the face hugger and then like it just did the chest burster and now it's gonna evolve again into the next form. But
Those effects, man, were done so simply. It just goes to show if you got the passion, you got a little bit of skill, and you got the passion, and a bunch of people working together to make as good a product as you possibly can. You can use very little and make something kick ass, man. They could still be doing that in more films today, I think.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
lighting and camera work too. I mean, make a pretty big impact.
Exactly. Like Rob Bottin on The Howling. He
Yeah,
wasn't as, he wasn't as far along as, so he just darkened it up a little bit. Because shit, he was only 18, 19 years old when he did those effects for The Howling. He was a kid.
uh,
500 games called Dark Seed or something, and it was designed for script, atmospheric, and fun. That is the number one most important thing to a horror film is atmosphere.
how about
That's
that?
one thing. That way, these 70s space horror films are shot. They do something to me. I guess it's because it's not all flashy CGI in newer films. Yeah, there's too much. They try to depend on that shit too much now. Just strip it down to the basics, man. Get the love going. Do something that you want to do, that you're passionate about. Bring other people in that are passionate about it, not that want to make the dollar, that want to make a good product, and you'll come out with something good.
I think there's money to be made in making a good product, but the
Right.
way film production happens now, I mean, it's a little different now. You get like independent film, and like you can legitimately make an amazing looking movie for like $10,000 if you're committed and you know what you're doing, a little bit like the prosumer cameras and shit, and like the access to software and all that stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
that was not there for like, pretty much all of cinema history until pretty recently. But audiences change, man. Like at
Right.
the end of the day, like, big studios want to make big money, and you know, they want to
Yeah.
do stuff that sells. They need quicker pacing because people are used to watching TikToks and shit. like, you know,
You got to be able to find that one guy that's ahead of shit in a studio, that you're making the movie for. Hopefully, you got that guy in there that likes film and is looking to do more than make a buck. Is actually looking to do a passion project and actually gives a shit about it.
yeah,
It's the same thing with like a record label. Hopefully, you got somebody in there that likes rock and roll, and you're going to get a lot better product that way. You know what I mean? If you got just a bunch of executives that are only thinking about the dollar and the product, it's
well, and music's another area where like access to like professional studio tools like software and like microphones are cheap as shit now. Like all you can like put together a
so
home studio for pretty cheap. And so like, the record companies can't really compete anymore. They're pretty much dead in the water. But having said that, there's a lot of good music still.
because
There's
back
a
when
lot
I
of,
was young, man, equipment cost so much back in like the late '80s, early mid '90s. God damn it, shit was expensive.
yeah, to make like a big record, like you spend thousands upon thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars for studio time because the
Mhm.
studios had all the tools, and like that's what you needed to make, like a and Justice for All or like a Thriller. I mean, there's
Right.
like, now you can do it on a laptop. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. We were cutting a self-made album in about shit, it must have been '92 or so. And rather than going and renting studio time, I think one of the dudes, he was our drummer. I think he bought it. And I think it was either a 4 track or an 8 track where we could record our own demo on it.
Yeah,
And that motherfucker ended up paying for itself because it sounded pretty good,
yeah.
So because renting a studio to go make a demo, oh my God, man, all of us together couldn't afford to do it.
You can't, yeah. I mean, you can maybe like rent some time in a smaller studio, but like the big studios that have like I mean, all that shit still is expensive, but
Mm.
there's so many like plugins that are, you know, maybe not quite as super awesome, but like you can do so much with just your laptop, and it's pretty crazy.
That's something we did not have back when I was in bands. Like I said, in the late '80s, early to mid '90s, that wasn't even a thought. You know what I mean? Getting on a computer and being able to make your own shit like that.
Oh yeah.
That
Computers
didn't
were for
exist.
war games, dude. You put that phone in the cradle and fucking like, do you want to play a game? And all of a sudden you're like fighting with Russia
Mm.
with the nukes.
Yeah, I wish we'd had the tech then that we have now with that. I would have demos coming out my ass, man. They'd be everywhere.
But now you can do the same thing. Like you could shoot a beautiful looking film on a goddamn iPhone. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Uh,
Like Unsane was made on an
the
iPhone.
thing was made 100% on an iPhone.
That's a pretty good one too, man.
The there was another movie, I can't remember what it was, but it was filmed on the same kind of camera that I have. I have like, it's a nice camera, but it's not like a fucking Hollywood
Right.
movie camera. And it looked, it looked cool, man. Like you can do a lot with the modern tools.
Yes.
Still,
Um,
the Hollywood theater tickets and stuff are down. But there's still money to be made, so they're still pumping out big ass budget movies, you know.
I think used correctly, this is a perfect time to make your own music and to make your own movies. There's so much more we can do now. The only problem with it is there doesn't seem to be as much imagination and creativity. You know what I mean? People seem to lack that. Now that we've got a much easier way to make it and do it yourself, where you don't have to deal with the big studios, you can do it on your own. There doesn't seem, I don't know, people just don't seem to be as. It's like all the good shit's been used. You know what I mean? And no one can come up with anything new anymore.
I feel like also
That's
like
what I read.
a lot of people's motivations. I mean, like I know a lot of artists and stuff, and I know a lot of people that just make stuff whether they're going to be making money on it or not. Like they're just compelled
Right.
to make shit, you know. Um, but a lot of people, don't want to spend the time to make a full length feature when they can just shoot like a 1 minute TikTok and get like famous or whatever as an influencer. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people are passionate about this, and like being an influencer couldn't mean shit to them. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if that's what I would have been looking to try to do is be able to get some kind of a fame or get big on YouTube, I think I definitely would have picked a different avenue in
Yeah.
film, in horror film. You know, I mean, you're not going to get a million subscribers and shit, talking horror and reviewing horror. It's just not going to happen. So it has to be a passion thing.
Yeah.
You it has to. Because
I
look,
would.
I've been doing it for a while now, and it took me forever just to get 100. It's been a little smoother since then. But when I stopped worrying about it and stopped giving a shit, is when
Yeah.
I started having fun and shit grew.
Yeah. You can't. I mean,
I was so stressed, man. I really
it's
was for a long time. I thought everybody hated me.
it's perfectly okay to like want to make doing YouTube videos your job or whatever. That's fine to have that goal, but uh it's also fine to just have a channel where you can bullshit with people, make friends, and like, talk about shit you're passionate about, like that's all I've ever been interested in as far as
Yeah,
this goes.
yeah. I mean, me too. That's what I wanted too. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe it was ego or pride or something speaking for me. It was kind of hurting my pride and ego that I didn't feel like very many people, were, wanted to buy into any shit that I was talking about. I
Well,
wanted more people to give a fuck about what I was doing, I guess. And
sure.
I felt very unpopular.
You have
I still feel somewhat unpopular.
I mean, you have to get to like a certain level where you feel just like, okay, I got friends, I interact with people consistently, and like, when you're just first starting out and you have like 30 subscribers and you like post a video and it gets like 3 views or something, it's discouraging as shit. You know what I mean? So like,
And
but once you get like, yeah, a few more subscribers and you make some friends and form some relationships, then the like, I've just never really given a shit. My channel's always grown slow as shit. I also have also never just given a fuck once I got past a certain point where I wasn't discouraged from actually posting videos.
yeah, well, my self esteem about the last 10, 15 years has really been the shits anyway. I can tell you got a shitload better self esteem than what I do.
Oh,
I've
that's
taken some
all.
big hits to it, man.
I mean, I don't know, my self-esteem's up and down, it sort of depends.
Mine got to a point to where it was just down and shitty and negative. And at the same time, I'm not a quitter. I never give up. I flat ass refuse. And at the end of the day, I always end up looking at shit from a more positive point of view rather than a negative.
Yeah.
So so that's good characteristics. I just got to get out of my own head. That's what I needed to realize. I needed to get out of my own head and stop shooting myself in the foot.
I spent my whole 30s depressed as shit, dude, feeling like awful about myself. And my 40s have been a lot better. I changed some shit, like I was I failed as like a furniture maker. I love making shit. I was a furniture maker. I used to teach
Yeah.
woodworking, and it's hard to make a living that way.
It's
Uh,
cool though.
and so like I spent 10 years doing it, and then I was like, fuck, I got to change it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did, and I've had a lot of success in my career at this point, so I feel a lot better about things like that.
That was the opposite. I hit 40. The day I hit 40 is the day I realized that holy shit, I'm not immortal. I'm not all fucking Mr. Badass. I'm gonna die someday. And ever since then, I've been like, oh my god, I'm getting old.
I had that. I had the whole existential crisis all through my 30s, dude.
Mine's in the 40s. I'm 49 now, and it's just like doom. It's just like I'm going. Oh my god, I really am.
Yeah,
I'm terrified of dying now, man. I'm terrified of.
I felt like I was gonna back in my 30s. I felt like every day I had a lot of like uh a lot of anxiety and depression, and like physically feel anxiety. Like every day I felt like I was gonna die. I'd have like panic attacks and shit.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
like I mean, it was awful. But I did get through it, which is good.
That's weird. I don't see that type those type of characteristics coming from you. You know what I mean? Of course, I didn't know you then. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's weird. You just seem to be pretty positive and you know what I mean? Pretty positive and somewhat secure and happy these days.
I
That's how you come.
I am but like I said, like even when I first like I've been sober since I was 18, and I switched my careers. I became a machinist, and I was like, okay, I'm going to work for someone else. And my first job I got as just like an operator was real shitty pay. Like I was losing money. Uh, I don't even remember. I think maybe like $15 an hour, which might be okay in a lot of places, but here in the San Francisco Bay Area, that's like nothing. Like
Right.
it cost me it cost me a lot of money just to commute to San Jose for that job. And then I have to teach woodworking in the evenings to try to make ends meet and shit. And then like I remember when I first got that job, I was like, "This is my life now. I got to do this every day until I fucking die." I might just relapse. I might have to like relapse in order to make this tolerable.
Might need to get fucked up at least on a partial full time basis, huh? Yeah.
But
So so was you good at making furniture? I mean,
yeah, man,
were you skilled at that?
yeah, I'm super skilled.
Cool. That's a cool trade, man.
I loved it. I love woodworking. I love working with hand tools. Nowadays I make stuff still, but it's and I still find it very fulfilling, but like it's a little different, It's not quite as like hand tools, like hand planes and sharpening a chisel and cutting a dovetail, like
Right.
but I'm also making fancy ass shit, so you
So
know.
you make real furniture. You actually use wood.
I used
It's
to
not
use
mass
it.
production, you know?
Now I make like weird top secret shit, you know what I mean? For a big tech company.
Well, cool. So you do
Uh,
pretty good now then.
it's awesome. It's like a dream job, dude. I mean, and it's changed my life considerably. Like that every day, like back when I was broke as shit, there's so much stress, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's stressful, man, and it wears on you. And like
Tell me about it.
trying to work for yourself, it's always feast or famine, like and
See, I
it's
don't have any education, that much education and shit, and there's no opportunities around here. And I've gotten to an age now where, you get to an age where you just, everything that I'm skilled at and good at I can't make a living out of. You know what I mean? There's just no avenue for it. So I end up being just broke as fuck and just shitty about it because one of the things I end up having a lot of passion for and loving a lot was collecting. Unfortunately, we collect very expensive things,
Yeah.
and I can't keep up with them. Like I've fallen behind on so many of them. I have to pick and choose my poisons now,
Yeah.
and it like like you said a minute ago. $15 an hour around here is decent. Um, in a bigger area, or like you said, in the Bay Area or a bigger city, you wouldn't even be able to pay your rent, no place to live with that.
Yeah. Like you like if you I mean, I don't know what it's like over there, but I know in places of the country you can buy a nice house for $200,000. Like you can't buy shit for less than like $1.25 million out here. Like
Um,
that's
what's
the
the average hourly rate around there? Like your average Joe?
well, there is like a minimum. I think I want to say like the minimum wage for like San Francisco is maybe $16 or something an hour. I went
It's like
back.
eight
I,
bucks or under here.
it's everything's a lot more expensive here. Gas is almost
Oh,
$7 a gallon at this point,
oh
uh,
shit!
and that's gone down a bit. But like when I went back to school, decided just okay, I'm going to be a machinist. I like machining. I've always just tried to do what I found fulfilling and hope that I'd make money doing it. You know what I mean? And so I did that, and I was like, okay, if I top out at like, I had a pretty modest amount that I was like, okay, I get like I was making $45,000 a year, and that was hard to live on here out here. And I was like, if I top out at like $60,000, I don't need to make more than that. I'll be okay. I'll be able to pay bills, and I won't be stressed out all the fucking time. Um, and yeah, I make substantially more than that these days.
That's awesome, man.
I got pretty lucky, I mean, I am also like was able to capitalize on opportunities that came my way. But I've been lucky for sure.
Oh shit! There's more to that than luck, though, man. I mean, you know what I mean. You just you made a lot of smart decisions too. That has to go with it. You know what I mean. You have to take advantage of your opportunities. You have to, you know what I mean. You have to make your opportunities,
And you have
and
to
you
hustle like a motherfucker when you get them too, right? I mean, like,
like it takes work. It doesn't just fall in your lap and then there it is. I mean, you know, success. One of the coolest things I ever heard was someone told me one time, success is no accident. I think that is one of the coolest things, and it makes so much sense.
I was seeing this girl who said something like I don't know, she was talking just general shit. Like, oh well, you're lucky because you're, and I was like, I am lucky in a lot of ways, but I'm also like, I'm not just a stagnant person sitting around waiting for shit to come my way. Like, I see an opportunity, I go after it, and I try to capitalize the best of my ability.
You're a well practiced success now. You know what I mean? You put you put the discipline in. You
And
got to be disciplined.
I spent a lot of time failing too. So like, there's that as well. Some
That's
dues
the
have been paid.
that's actually the best thing that you can do is fail a lot. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta lose to know how to win type shit. You know what I mean?
Well, that's sort of like the whole mentality of where I work. It's like trying to like make progress like by tenfold, 10 times instead of like 10%. And like the whole goal is we're like an incubator, right? So like we have all these random projects. Someone would be like, oh, like farming robots. Let's see if we can get, build this robot that will be able to like, you know, do this like whatever task. And then like the whole idea is to try to make it fail as fast as possible so you can move on to the next thing. And if it doesn't fail and then there's like all this opportunity behind the project, then it stays and becomes like its own company. But yeah, everyone's like, it's a little different nowadays. But when I first started, you would, if you failed a company, you'd get like a bonus. You know what I mean? You get like,
Okay.
and and you'd be able to just like, okay, you don't have that thing to work on anymore, but you could have like this time to go look for like a new project to work on. For me, because I'm like physically making stuff, and you know, I'm like a hard on the hardware end of things, my choices are pretty limited. So uh I got lucky. I was on a robotics team, and I'm now I work for the central prototyping design kitchen is what we're called, and we just basically make weird shit for everyone, all the teams.
That's cool, man. I'm glad you're a success, man. That's killer.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing, to be honest with you.
Hell yeah, man. I'm very happy for you. I wish I would have made wiser decisions. I counted on things that, rather than having a backup or anything like that, I counted on things that the way life fell didn't allow me to follow it. You know, so I end up having a broken dream and nothing to fall back on at all, and then a bunch of horrible decisions to the point to where I made myself so mental that I did couldn't even go outside for the longest time, and then now I'm just basically a disabled sociophobe. You know.
I was kind of like that in my 30s, man. Like I would force myself to go out because I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die any minute here. I need to go out in public, so if I just keel over and die, like someone's gonna like call and 911 or something. I'm not just gonna have my dog eating my face next week or whatever, you know, like uh but I was a wreck, dude. I was a wreck for sure.
Well, so that makes it 10 times better to be able to look back and have that hindsight and go, man, hell yeah, I'm so glad that I'm here now rather than there. I wish I would give anything to be able to have that opportunity to be able to look back in 10 years and go,
Hey
man,
man, never say never. You may very well have that opportunity. It seemed like hopeless through my 30s, dude. I was like suicidal for a good chunk of that time. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what to do with my I was like severely depressed. And it was a big mess. And you I had no hope, you know, barely any hope. Uh but I did navigate my way through it, and my 40s have been like so much better. So it is possible, you know.
yeah.
You
Well, a
made
lot of the choices and decisions I had to make were also, you know what I mean, were based on, I have 4 kids altogether, you know what I
yeah.
mean, and I've been married, and now I have a fiance, and I have a 15-year-old here in the house. So, you know what I mean, my decisions and my choices are a little, they're a little different in a way. You're kind of
Well,
held down a little more. You know what I mean? I
you're a
can't
little
take
more
the,
limited. You're a
yeah,
little more limited with your options because you know you got responsibilities.
yeah, and I'm very glad of what I have. You know what I mean? If I didn't have what I do have as far as my kids, and my fiance and stuff now, and my wife then, um, you know, so that's basically where I'm at now. Is I'm grateful for what I have. I just wish I'd have made better decisions as far as other parts of my life.
I don't
I would
mind
love
this.
to be able to have some cash
I don't mind
and
the
be
shitty.
happy.
I don't mind the shitty decisions I made. My only regret is how long I spent making shitty decisions. You know, like how long I was sort of stagnant, and just like
Yeah.
uh, I wish I would have gotten through that a lot quicker rather than like a decade. You know, but
Well, I mean, but hey, it took as long as it took, and you may not be where you're at now if you hadn't made those. You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm not a
So
super regretful person. You know, I like when you're going through it, it's like a big bummer, very painful experience, but you get through it. I've been through that cycle a few times in my life. You know what I mean? So like,
I tend to dwell too much, too. I dwell and I don't know. I kind of just, yeah. I just dwell on it and I fester over it, and but I've actually come actually a long way because a few years back I couldn't even leave the house. So
yeah, I mean that's a big deal. It's like babies. You just got to take baby steps, and ultimately you'll find yourself in a different place than you were. You know, it's like, but you got to keep taking those little baby steps if you can. You know.
that's why I started my channel.
Yep.
is so that I could reach out to other people like me, that, because, my wife at the time and my fiance now and my son, my 15-year-old and then my oldest son, they love movies, but they don't want to sit around and mull over them and bullshit over them like we do. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, well, that's great. I mean, yeah, I like it and all, but geez, so it was a way of being able to reach out and be a part of life again. That's why I started this channel. That
Yeah.
was the whole motivation,
Yeah.
just
Me
so I
too.
could be a part of the world again.
Yeah. I just wanted like, you don't really think about it now because you got Instagram, your feed's like a bunch of other horror weirdos and shit. But like to the standard person who goes like, you have how many horror movies? Like, what are you like? You're a fucking serial killer. It's like, no, dude, like, it's that's the beautiful part about like YouTube and Instagram and stuff is like, yeah, you find like-minded individuals and you don't feel like quite as big a fucking weirdo as you used to.
It's just normal, it's normal, it's like to us when we talk about, paying fucking, buku ridiculous prices for this movie that we have 10 other copies of because this one's special and comes in a leather and wooden casing. Your
Yeah.
average person looks at that and goes, you paid how much for that? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Can't you just stream that on Netflix, dude? What the hell? Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
know.
to us, it's like, oh yeah, I totally get that. Why are you shaming him for?
It's and it I mean it's amazing, back in like the 90s you had like bulletin boards and weird shit like that, online, but like nowadays, we look at us, dude. I don't even know where in the country you are, but we are like this is like some Jetsons shit where we're talking to each other like video chatting about fucking horror movies. Like how amazing is that if you stop to think about it?
Yes, thinking back when I was a younger man, like even in my 30s, like you talk about, in my 30s, I never would have dreamed that I'd be talking to somebody that lives over close to where the fucking fog was made, and here I am in the middle of Indiana, fucking Hoosier Hickville. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. It's cold here.
Yeah.
It's like
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's amazing times.
it's supposed to snow tomorrow, man. I mean, what the hell's wrong with it? It's gonna
Uh,
snow and it's not even Halloween.
It's it's been I mean, yeah, it's like 70 degrees every day here basically. It's pretty nice, but we get droughts.
They're they're just going on with their conversation and shit while we babble about life and failures and wins and all that. My parents were dating when Alien came out. They're actually talking about the movie, man. We're like totally not with it. Hey, hey, man.
Uh,
Um, think love is hormonal. Brandon, everybody's saying hello to everybody. They're just doing their own thing. They said, Katie says you're amazing, Ben.
yeah, I saw that earlier. I've been keeping an eye on the chat. I thanked her for that. It was nice of her to say. She's got
Me,
like
am I
she's got
not a little bit amazing too? I need to hear that I'm amazing,
well
Katie.
now
I really,
wait a second because she gives you some props too. She gives you some
really
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's coming up. There, see?
something better than hey, you got a lot of movies.
Exactly.
That's not exactly a win as far as self-esteem goes. It's like yes, I do, but I don't. It doesn't make me feel special. Thank you very much, Kate. You, Kate is like the sweetest person, man.
She's got like a whole just like a positive vibe Instagram uh account. I don't know if you follow it, but she started it and it's just like positive vibes.
She's got a very successful channel too, man. She's put up nearly 500 in a year. Like it makes me go, okay, now I'm definitely doing something wrong. Like
Oh, yeah, I'm terrible
my
at that.
problem is I don't make enough videos, man. I don't do enough regular content. I do a lot more now, but back when I bitched all the time about not having any subscribers, like when I was under 100, I only had like 35 videos. I was sitting around whining and going, man, I suck. Everybody hates me. That's my problem. I take shit too personally. You know what I mean? If everybody doesn't go, hey, that's great, you did an awesome job, I'm going, man, what?
Yeah, remember when there was thumbs down back in the day? Like when you
Yeah,
first started doing this shit and you get a thumbs down, you're like, hey, fuck you, man.
I,
Yeah.
I'm the first time I ever got that, and the reason I got it was simply because I did The Shining. I was talking about my film arena, The Shining, and all I said was I preferred Kubrick's movie over King's book. And
You
someone gave me some hate. They said, "You suck," gave me a thumbs down and said, "Get the fuck off here. Go kill yourself." I was like, damn, just damn, dude. Now, see, a
I
person in real life told me that shit and I'd slap.
my first YouTube channel is a motorcycle channel, and I have a video. Let me check. Let me check real quick. I have a video. I believe last time I checked, it had 864 thumbs downs.
Damn, on a motorcycle channel?
Yeah, it had like 13,000 thumbs up, but like that, if you think about like just looking at 864 people and like all of them
Right.
just going boo, you're like, Jesus, man, that would suck.
How did you get hate on a motorcycle channel?
Oh, people hate motorcyclists, dude. People absolutely hate motorcyclists.
Now you go a little bit more with the crotch rocket type, don't you, or that type of thing, or do you,
I have
or is
a
it
Harley.
a mixed bag?
I have a Harley. I have a Harley. I have an old BMW as well. I have a newer, like an old Airhead BMW from 1973. I have a bike project, and then I had a
Yeah.
2017 Super Duke that got stolen.
Did you ever find out anything about that?
Nope.
It just vanished. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I thought was really cool about how you handled that situation, and what told me the situation you was in was definitely more prosperous than what it could be. Is the fact that got stolen, and you just simply said, "Well, I think I'll just go get me another one." I was like, "You motherfucker! There you go. Hell yeah!"
I mean,
Me, I'd be like, "I'll never be able to get another one as long as I live, man. It's gone."
it's a big bummer, and I love that bike, and I mean, what are you gonna do? Shit happens. If it's gone, it's gone. Like there's an opportunity, a possibility where maybe the cops will find it and return it to you or whatever, but that window's closed. And
That fucker got chopped up, man. That was taken to an operation, man. That was taken to an operation and cut down and moved on. You may have seen it pass by you one of these days. You just didn't know it.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's fucked up. That's super fucked up. But it's cool that you were in a good enough situation where you'd be like, "Hey, I'll just go get another one." Me, I'd have been like, "Well, I may be getting another bike, but it's gonna be a one that I have to pedal."
And like it's not like I don't have another motorcycle to ride as well.
See, that's cool.
But I do miss that bike, dude. That bike was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it and seeing it, man, and seeing it happen. I was like, "Oh, that sucks, man." Was it taken from outside your house?
Yeah, my backyard.
God damn. And no one's seen shit.
There's ring cameras that caught the dude, but I mean, like, what do you? It's super shitty footage. Like, you see him walk back there, you see him walk my bike out, and that's all you got. He walks it down the street. You can't see any license plates or anything. So,
So was that inside, you think? You think maybe he had been scouting you, or he was just going by and seen it, or maybe he knows somebody that knows you, or I mean,
I think he was scouting it.
world full of fucking possibilities.
He was scouting it. Every now and again we'll find like people's fucking case in our joint out. I mean,
Damn.
we're in Oakland. There's a decent amount of crime out here.
You guys had my favorite football team for many years. They're a very big disappointment to me.
Yeah, they're not here anymore.
Yeah, I know, and they sucked there too. It's like they went to one Super Bowl, played against their former coach that knew every play that they did. They played every play that he taught them, and then wonder why they lost. So not only was they playing against the best defense at that particular era of football in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they're also playing against their former coach that taught them everything.
By the way, Brandon the Beldam saying Katie's going to be on his channel tomorrow for a haunt watch along. What did you think of Haunt?
Haunt, I'm not sure that I've seen Haunt yet. I
Ooh,
haven't. Two of them I haven't seen yet, actually. I did see Orphan First Kill though, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by that.
I still haven't seen that one.
It's different than you think.
I mean, I've heard a lot of most horror people I know that've seen it enjoyed it.
I like it better than the first one by far. The first one's predictable. You know what I mean? It's just your basic crazy killer creepy kid thing. You know, not basic, but it's got
Yeah.
different shit going on. She is 30 some years old, and all. But the sequel, which is actually a prequel, is not what you think, man. I'm telling you, it's got a really good twist. I enjoyed the fuck out of it, man. I thought it was a lot better than the first. It actually smoothed over the pain of Halloween Ends. That made me realize how sucky Halloween Ends really was when I seen it working first kill. I was like, man, Orphan First Kill kicks ass, but my Halloween franchise has gotten further into the cave.
Yeah.
It made me appreciate. I mean, fucking Halloween Resurrection doesn't suck as bad as it used to.
But and that's the I mean it's hard because you have like obviously you have so much like love for the first movie and the second one and the third one, but like you have to view every other sequel in the franchise through the lens of the first one, so of course you're going to be disappointed.
Like I'm so critical of that franchise that I don't like Halloween 4 simply because his mask looks too happy.
Yeah, I mean the
I'm anal as fuck about Halloween. In other words,
it's it's crazy that they can't just get a cool mask and stick with it. You know what I mean? They keep playing like, and then in H2O you have like three different masks, and one of them is fucking digital. It's like Jesus.
man, if he'd had the OG mask in Halloween 4, that would be kick ass, man. But he just looked way too friendly in Halloween 4.
Yeah,
Like he's gonna come up and say, "Hey, what's up, man? You want to have a cookout?" And then like what I say and a few other people say too, and he looked like a Nicolas Cage mask in the next one, and then the one after that was the guy in black and all kinds of weird shit. He's having babies with his niece, and
I'm not a fan of six, dude. I know a lot of
oh,
people that absolutely love six, but that whole like Thorn
so
trilogy,
yes,
that's not my jam. But
I knew at the end of 5, I didn't like 5 anyway, but I knew at the end of it when that guy came through there, the guy in black or whatever, and shoot people into jail. I said, "Oh my god, it has reached a whole new level."
dude, like that didn't even make sense. I remember seeing that in the theater, going like, "What? That didn't even make sense." Until like it was just like completely random out of the blue shit to happen, and it didn't make any sense until part six, and then it still didn't make sense. And part six was a pretty big disappointment to me when I saw it. I was like, runestones and shit, really? Okay.
Yeah. And everybody back in the day hated the hell out of all those. Maybe not 4, but they hated the hell out of 5 and 6. Now there's a group of people, and I think a lot more of some of those same people that think that the producer's cut of Halloween 6 is a good Halloween film. And it's almost like they just decided to, you know what I mean? If you can't beat them, join them and decided to just go ahead and like it or something. I think that's the way a lot of fans do that. They hate something for so long that finally they see some other shit that sucks even worse. And they go, well, damn, maybe that's not.
Well, it's like Alien 3. When I watched that, I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't a giant fan, and when I saw like the super duper extended cut, I was like, okay, that was a lot better. I don't have the same amount of dislike for this movie as I used to have.
I just wish Donald Pleasance would have been able to be in some more good Halloween movies. That would have been cool. Unfortunately, his last couple of Halloween movies were absolutely the drizzles. Mm.
There's also there's also a lot of movies in the 80s that I watched as a youngster that doesn't really matter if they suck or not. I have so much nostalgia wrapped up in them that I love the shit out of them, and that's where 4 and 5, Halloween 4 and 5 fit. But even like six, I just never really liked that movie.
Really makes you appreciate shit like Humongous, doesn't it? From 1982. I'm glad you liked it. Ginja Ninja likes it too, man. It's finally happening. I'm spreading the word of Humongous around finally.
Contagious, dude.
I've been telling people for years it's a kick-ass early '80s fucking horror movie, man. I like it,
I'd,
and I've always thought it was good.
I'd heard a few other people talk about it, but yeah, it doesn't really get talked about too much.
Yeah,
Um, and then yeah, it was pretty random that I was at Orbit, and that's where I wanted to get it before, and then it was sold out, and then it was there again in stock. I was like, okay, I get it. Okay.
yeah. I seen one. They still had one a couple of weeks ago, but I wasn't able to get it, so it's probably gone now. I'll find it again.
Yeah, things pop up and down. I mean, look at that opera level book, right? I mean, I think
Yeah. Go ahead.
I ended up paying 65 euro for that, dude, from this time around, which is cheap. I mean, that thing retailed for like 100 euro, I want to say, back in the day when it was available. You know what I mean? And of course, you see what people are asking on eBay and shit.
Oh my God, man. Yeah. That's Suspiria. That 84 film. The leatherback wooden Suspiria all day long. You can pay $300-400 for it easy. Ah,
Yeah, have a. I bought one on eBay. I got an okay deal on it. Not a great deal, but it wasn't too painful. And when it arrived, it was completely damaged. And I was like, fuck me. And I got a refund. So and I was like, I'll send it back to you. And he's like, don't bother. Like, what am I going to do with a damaged thing? And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with it, dude? Why don't you pack it? Fuck. But now
you keep the damaged shit. I don't want it. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to get my money back. Get back to you.
I have one that's damaged, and I'd still like to get a nice one that's not damaged. But then, like, I don't know.
Oh, so you still got just the damaged one? You don't have
I got
okay.
basically a free damaged one, but
But
it's
but
damaged.
hey, I mean, you know,
But I mean,
um,
it's not like I didn't own Suspiria already. You know, it's like the whole point of that thing is it's a beautiful release, and if it's not, if it's all smashed up and gouged and shit, then it's not a beautiful release.
that kind of runs the whole thing, man. Yeah. Um, the black inkers are fucking expensive too. That's something else I want to get. I have one of the Suspirias. I want to get a uh, Phenomena, and I think Tenebrae is the other one that they did 3 editions Black Inker.
Yeah, I got those three. Hold on, let me see. Of course, you know the drill. No pants. Give me a second.
Yeah, I have I have number 3 sealed of the Black Inker Suspiria.
Yep, that's the same. I got that one. I like that
Still,
cover.
still sealed, man. I got number 186.
Um, was it numbered on the label? I got the label in here, I think.
Yeah. See, there we go.
Yeah, I got pretty sure. Let me see if I can find it. They didn't make a lot of these, you know.
No, they did what 3 Suspirias, or was there 3 Suspirias? Was there 3 each, or is there just one each of Suspiria, Tenebrae, and Phenomena?
They did the Dark Inker was one of the artists, and then they had a few other artists that also did slipcovers for those releases. I
Okay,
think
so
I think it might
is
be over there with the challenge coins.
is this the only slip for Suspiria, or is there other ones?
No, there was I can't remember the artist's name, but there was another artist that did a different slipcover for it that also
Okay.
looked cool. But I think Dark Inker just did that one, and then I got this Dark Inker Tenebrae one, which is very cool as well. And then of course the Phenomena, which is
That's
not
cool as well.
quite as
Yeah.
cool looking, but it's still rad. Look at this back though.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That is bad. So I want one each of those two. Yeah. I have this. It's sealed. I'm happy with it. I ended up paying about a year and a half ago. I ended up paying total 105, 106 with um with tax. But
Yeah.
that's about the same price that I got the 84 films leatherback Suspiria, about 110 bucks.
Right. Yeah.
The only thing that was wrong with it was the red box that it comes in, the red cardboard box. The only thing that was wrong with it was it had a scrape on top of it. Nothing wrong with the product.
Mine Mine had a giant gouge, a couple gouges, and then it basically crumbled when I got it here. Like the whole drawer fell apart. Of course, I'm a handy dude, so I could put it back together. But it's still gonna have a giant fucking gouge in it. It's kind of a bummer.
See, and I got this one first. I did not realize that this was the same steel book at the time. Come on, here, hold on. I didn't realize this was the same steel book
Yep.
as the Black Inker. The only difference is the Black Inker has what those stickers and it has a different slipcover.
Yeah, and challenge coin if you got that, if you got it with the challenge coins.
Yes.
But I love that steelbook, dude. That's like my
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it still is, but for a long time it was my favorite steelbook. You know, shit changes, but I love the artwork on it.
Yeah, this is cool too. This is the now is this the same steel book? This Synapse steel book, is it the same one that's in the Black Inker Phenomena?
Yeah. I mean, they're all well, actually no, it's yeah, let me see the other side of that one. Does it have this on the other side?
Yep.
Yep. Same Z's.
Cool.
It was just they just did the Synapse Films steel books, same release, but they were like in a full slip release with the cool slip covers and whatnot.
This actually has a book with it too. The
Yeah.
Japanese writing. Which I thought was strange for Synapse to have the Japanese writing.
Well, it's like High Def Ninja.
This this fucker's ridiculously expensive. I don't know how it got so expensive.
I got that's the
And then hang on. You there? What did you do?
can you hear
Did you
me?
freeze? Yeah. No, I can't. You froze for a minute, I think.
Oh, yeah, the I had that opera. That was like the only one I had for a long time. But that's a nice set.
I got that, and then I got the. Of course, I got this media book, which I love the art on this media book.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
It's limited to 555.
Cool.
Nice media book, and I only paid like $30 for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get them before they're like all sold out and shit, they're not too bad, you know.
But for some reason, why do these um Scorpion? Why does Scorpion get to be so goddamn much, man? All
I
these get to be buku ridiculous now.
I mean the I guess it's just limited, but the that opera set was like a nice set, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. Just looks really good. The that's that's what my humongous is, and this motherfucker runs $100 all day.
You know that the orphan set, one of the cool things about that one, when you put it in like the FBI warning, it's like her looking through the peephole and then it looks at the warning. It's like a really cool, like weird little touch to put in there. It's cool.
Wow. Let me see. That but these but here you got like for instance, I guess got a lot to do with it too. Like you seen the Terror Train from Scream Factory, right?
Yeah.
That's what Scorpion art looks like.
I have the Scorpion one.
Yeah, it just
I didn't get the Scream Factory one.
it, um. Have you got any of the new Scream Factory 4Ks that they've been? They just released Black Christmas and Carrie.
I'm dragging ass on those. I think a lot of like the that Fog Steelbook, I'm definitely gonna get it. It looks badass, but I haven't got it yet. I have the Fog 4K like 3 times.
Yeah,
But like I'm still gonna get that Steelbook. But I am dragging a little ass. They're doing some cool releases, man, like the Return of the Living Dead too, you know?
these are 4Ks that I got to begin with. Of these was yeah, the Studio Canal versions of them.
Yep.
Yeah,
The I
Scream Factory is the same. It's the same cut, man. It's the same transfer.
And before that, before those sets, Studio Canal just did like a standard 4K release of it, you know, and just a little Amaray case.
Yeah.
And I have that one too.
Now, see, I'm disappointed in myself because I do not have the Tenebrae 4K yet. I bet I still haven't got that some bitch yet, and it's running 60, $70 all day too. No.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna try
think
to see, find it.
I'll have to verify, but I think that was one that I haven't picked up yet either.
Well, there's two different. There's the arrow, and then there's the synapse. I like the synapse artwork better.
Yeah.
I like the new artwork on it, you know, because the arrow has the one, you know what I mean, where her head's leaning back,
Yeah.
the classic Tenebrae. I like the synapse. I like the new artwork on
The yeah, they I'm also a steelbook behind on them. They did like two what was the last steelbook they did?
of the Argentos.
No, just in general, like Tomb of the Blind Dead or some shit.
Um, uh, I don't know. They did True Romance, and they did Wild Things, and
Oh no, I was talking about Synapse.
oh shit, oh, that is one thing that's very cool. They just announced Burial Ground on 4K from 88 Films, but I can't remember what Synapse is doing right now. They're doing a couple of cool things though.
I just ordered that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 4K from Vinegar Syndrome, man.
I haven't been able to do that yet. That slip's probably gone now, isn't it?
I don't know. I think they have a few, you know what I mean? I think they're like it was like 6,000 or something. I bet it's still there.
Because that was a popular release. People went ape shit over that.
I mean, yeah, TCM too, dude. I love that movie.
Yeah, this is my favorite release of it ever.
Yeah, I got the Arrow one.
Yes. Oh yeah. This is fucking. It's got everything and his brother in it.
It's nice. I got the. You want to see my fanciest release of it?
Oh, don't tell me it's that fucking pretty ass media book with Chop Top on the front.
It's not just that. Hold on a second. I'll show you.
I've
You'll.
wanted that for fucking years now. That is beautiful.
1 second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna stop the cam because you know no pants. But
Alrighty. Just runs around all. Kind of like Halloween ends. Well, hey, you know, we all got our thing. You know, I mean, I'm just so, Maddie, I'm just so anal with Halloween that the first one to me was just so brilliant, and it's so instrumental in my life as a kid and getting me into horror that when they ground him into pieces, I just couldn't handle it. It hurt my feelings badly. And he just says the Corey story could have been something. If it was a different movie, the Corey thing would have been great. They're right, exactly, but not in Halloween.
yeah, I mean, they kind of fucked that one up a bit, but I didn't hate it as much as you.
Yikes! Brand Bedlam says, imagine having a giant bug attached to your face. No, no. I
Are you
don't
ready?
want to do that. Oh, it's that. Yeah.
This turbine collector box. Came with,
Turbine's nice.
they are nice, but it came with the Chop Top media book.
There it fucking is. Now that's the artwork on the cloth chop top figure from NECA.
Yeah, I love that artwork, man. It comes
I want that.
with this guy cloth
Yeah.
figure,
Damn it.
T-shirt, some posters, some cards.
Here, let me show you this stuff. See here, I'll show you this cloth chop top. I got the figure, damn it, but I don't have that fucking big ass fucking. But yeah, here you can see where it's the same artwork. See?
Yep.
That's the cloth chop top figure. He goes for an arm and a leg these days.
Yeah, man. Chop Top. Some people hate Chop Top, but
Really?
hate them or not, I mean, I know a lot of people actually hate this movie, but I love this movie. I love this artwork, man. Like, look at the. I, I mean, this is just beautiful artwork too.
It's one of the most fun horror movies ever made. As far as fun, it's at a level like where Return of the Living Dead is. You know, it's just a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good time, dude. Like when Dennis offers like shopping for chainsaws, the dude's like, "Oh my aching banana!" He's just like
Yeah,
slam the chainsaw into that stuff. Oh, that's so good, man.
you're like, oh yeah,
That makes me laugh every time.
get out of the face, dog will hunt, dog will hunt. Yeah, I love it when he's in there fucking. I remember my ex wife about made her sick at her stomach watching him light that lighter on that hanger and then scratch his head with it. She's like, I'm gonna puke. I was like, oh my god.
I loved it, man.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. The more he lit that and scraped his head, the more I was fucking digging it.
What a weird fucking thing to do, but yeah, he's like, and then eats it. Like, okay,
I think that was his. I think that was his
I
addition
think it
to it
was
actually,
too. Yeah,
because he's kind of nut. He's nuttier than hell anyway.
yeah, he's pretty cool though, man.
He is him and the Captain Spaulding characters, Otis and Captain Spaulding, are the saving grace of that trilogy. Now, I like House of a Thousand Corpses. I don't like the newest one at all,
I
but
didn't. Yeah,
Devil's Rejects was all right. It was the best made film of any zombie film he's made. I think he did the best job on it.
yeah. I might like House of a Thousand Corpses a little more. Just I think
Right.
because of the era it came out and where I was at when I saw it. But like, I
Just for
think
what it is.
yeah, Devil's Rejects probably a better film.
Yeah, but because it's so simple, it's so basic. All it is, it's a fucking, it's a gory, fucking just old school type horror movie. There's nothing complicated about it.
Yeah,
It's what it is, and that's what makes it good. And somehow he got all wrapped up in himself and went all kinds of directions. But
I
I
mean,
like his Halloween 2 better than I do his Halloween 1.
I did not like his Halloween 2 better than his Halloween 1 personally.
I Halloween 2, the girls, the you know his I don't know. He just gets into that fucking that white trash thing, man, where everybody he thinks every white person is a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of weird, but there was like
Everybody's a dirty slut to him. Those girls were, I mean, the way the girls were talking to people, you know what I mean? And the way he had Danielle Harris and everybody talk, the way they were acting and talking, it's just like he was shitting all over the original concept.
I didn't mind his first movie. Yeah, not for everyone. I'm sure you're not a fan.
It's all right.
I love Halloween, but I'm also not like I don't
Right.
hate everything that's not Halloween. You know what I mean? Like
And
I'm a little more tolerant, I think. Slightly less invested than you.
well, that's the only thing that I'm that anal about. Yeah. That's the only one because it just came at a point in my life when I was a kid that, I mean, if it wasn't for that movie, of course there's Exorcist and Shining and shit like that too, but
I mean,
if it,
there's nothing wrong with feeling that, you know. I mean, I know. Do you know Sean Blue Digital? He's the same. He doesn't like any of the Halloween sequels except for one and two and three.
I like the only thing I don't like about two is that stupid shit how he made them brother and sister. It took them 25, 30 years to get the brother and sister thing out of the whole equation.
Dude, people love that, man. People like get pissed that they're not brother and sister now. It's like I never. I think it's better that they're not brother and sister, but people really latched onto that as like part of his like mythology. They loved it.
They might as well have been in the last trilogy, though. You know what I mean? They that's the only thing they did change about it. She's still obsessed with him, and except for the difference is with the latest trilogy is he didn't even know she was fucking there until that doctor took him over there, and then he was like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "Oh, you know what I mean? I'll get you, Michael." Michael's like, "Who in the hell are you?" But she didn't look anything like she used to. He didn't know who in the hell she was to begin with.
I think it's better that way personally because it's
Mhm.
like a little more just like random and scary, dude. Like Like
He won't kill
you
anybody
know
else.
you don't know his motivation. He just saw someone got fucking fixated, and then like that's it. If the boogeyman's after you, then the boogeyman's fucking after you. It's a lot scarier, you know.
They did get more risky on something though. The original concept of Michael Myers, you notice how, like, for instance, in the original one, when Tommy and Lindsay go in the bathroom, she locks them in there, and then she goes and runs into the closet. So he doesn't offer to mess with or hurt the kids at all in any of those movies. But in 2018, you remember there when the bus crashes over here, and he gets in there and he kills the kid's dad and the kid. That's the
Yeah.
first time he ever killed a kid like that.
That's when I saw that I was like, I like this Michael. He's fucking brutal, dude. And I
Well,
like that the filmmakers made him brutal as shit, you know?
Well, he was older, he'd spent 40 years locked up in this fucking Smith's Grove, He got to spend one night out of there. Other than that, he'd been there since he was 6 years old, and he's just pissed. He's like, no one's untouchable now.
I mean, but it's like it's a ballsy move for like a film. Well, I mean, it feels like a step that a lot of filmmakers won't cross, you know what I mean?
Jason didn't even do it. Remember in part 6 when they
Yeah,
started the back up, and
yeah.
he's walking past all the kids, not even offering to touch them.
I always well, he was sort of going after Tommy in part 4, but I always felt comforted in the fact that Jason wasn't going to kill a kid. When I was like
Okay.
when I was a youngster, I was like, okay, I'm safe. Sweet.
He kind of went for him, but he was going more for Trish, his sister. I think he started going for Tommy because Tommy kept cussing him and fucking trying to chop him and
Yeah,
shit.
sure.
Plus, he shaved his head, and that just freaked him out. He didn't know where to go with that, so he just wanted to shut him up. Um, I won't be able to have a show tomorrow. I'm out of my 23 hours, so I got to wait till it turns over again on the 23rd. So I probably got an hour 45 minutes left total. So one watch along this week. So with whatever time I have left here, um, it's up to you if you want to hop off now or you want to bullshit a little bit longer. But this is the long and short of what I have left.
I forgot that there was even like a StreamYard time thing. I never streamed that much, but I do remember now that you mentioned it. You only get a certain amount for
20 hours per month free. 20 hours. And I had 3 hours and 13 minutes when we started Alien, and Alien's not short. So I probably got an hour left now. Of course, we fucked around and shot the shit for 15, 20 minutes.
yeah. What do you think of Terrifier? You like it?
I like the original one. I haven't seen the second one yet, but
Yeah.
they said motherfuckers was, I mean, they almost use like the Exorcist type shit on it, where people were fucking getting sick and fucking shit. I was like, hell yeah.
Dude, it's getting hyped up, dude. Like Halloween Ends came out and everyone was like, oh, that's a piece of shit. But Terrifier 2 came out and it was like sitting like first off, it's
Ego
2 hours,
man.
2 hours and 15 minutes for like a slasher movie. And then like on IMDb out of like I don't remember what the number was. It was over 1,000 reviews. It was sitting at 7.5 out of 10. I mean, for like a horror movie, that's fucking
Hell
impressive.
yeah. Hell
Uh,
yeah. So between Ty West and Damian Leone, man, we got a chance. They're killing off all the old shit. Maybe they'll bring back Jason and he'll have a kick-ass show coming up here. And Terrifier 2, I already know it's going to
I'm gonna go in with. I'm not gonna go in overhyped because that's the fucking
be
devastating
good.
if you do that. It's hard to live up to the hype that people are giving it now. But
Compliment though.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's playing it in Pittsburgh, which is not really too close to me, but it's not playing in San Francisco or Oakland, which was surprising. But
Yeah, I can't get anywhere to see it. I'm kind of, we're kind of by ourselves here. We're in this little rinky-dink little town that don't play movies like that.
yeah,
Closest town to us is several miles away, and I don't have a car at this time. So I'm stuck waiting for it to stream, I guess.
yeah, and it's not being even been announced when it's going to start streaming. I'm in the same, but I mean, I could go, I could like take the hall to go see it, but it's not playing anywhere convenient. And I'll probably just wait for it to be streaming.
They
And
know it's going to make the money at the box office. They aren't going to stream that fucker free yet. No way. They're going to make that money there. They said Halloween had only made like 41 or 42 million in its first week or so. That's
I
a
mean,
big man.
I think Terrifier 2's done really well, considering it's a pretty like a limited theatrical release and not a giant budget movie or anything. I think it's been really good.
Some theaters won't play it, from what I was hearing. So that would be a perfect drive-in movie from back in the day. I wish we had a shitload of drive-ins still around, man. We could see movies like that all the time.
Yeah.
Because without drive-ins, shit like Hills Have Eyes and Last House and all them, and I Spit on Your Grave wouldn't have had a place to play because they wouldn't play them in regular theaters.
The we do have an Alamo Draft House, which plays a bunch of weird shit over here.
Grindhouse type shit.
Yeah, Trick or Treat finally got Brandon the Beldam is saying that Terrifier 2 didn't get released, but Trick or Treat 2 finally got, or Trick or Treat finally got a theatrical release, man. And he was able to see it in the theater. That's pretty awesome. Love that one.
Maddie says 78 is favorite film. There you go. Smart. Very good taste. I love your taste. I get the time gap between kills and yeah, the 4 years. Just like I don't know who it was said. Werewolf. Mike from American Werewolf said he's been in the sewer for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's like I just didn't say anything. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He looked like an old ass man, didn't he? He was like, oh, well, I mean, about 20 people beat him with pipes and shit for like 15 minutes.
I mean, why even make him like be able to withstand that whole thing to just be like a dilapidated old man in the new one? Doesn't really make too much sense, but
until he gets inspired and starts getting some blood on his hands, and all of a sudden he's like, yeah, and then he's able to snatch him up and did a bob to him.
But even then, like even though he did the bob, like which obviously requires a lot of strength,
right?
Corey just like pushed his ass over and stole his fucking mask. You know what I mean?
Oh, like he bullied him and took his shit. I was like, he rolled him and took the mask, man. And then he just kind of set up like, fuck, it's over, isn't it? You know? That's like, yeah, I imagine he had the same feeling as Michael Jordan did when he was playing for the Washington Bullets, and Kobe Bryant put up like 50 on him at one time. The last year that Jordan ever played. I imagine that's what Michael felt like after getting rolled, his mask taken.
It's like time to retire.
It's like, yeah, I'm just not what I used to be, am I?
Time to jump in that fucking Baylor or whatever the fuck that thing was.
That's my problem with it. They didn't have to puss him out and punk him with so many different. I mean, you could point at 5 different things the way they punked him. So it's not so much that I'm being so anal. It's just that they went out of their way to make him seem washed up and done. I mean, he looked like somebody's grandpa that's got severe arthritis and had to do.
I wish they would have just like if they would have just told Corey's story better, then I would have been okay with it. Like, I'm still kind of. I mean, like I said, I didn't hate it. I thought they attempted some interesting things. Failed.
He didn't get to kill Corey though, man. He didn't even get to kill Corey. She killed Corey too.
She didn't even kill Corey, dude. Corey killed himself.
Well, yeah. Well, he was dying. But she had shot him several times. She's just fucking. She's got Sarah Connor, I guess.
I mean, Loomis shot Michael Myers 6 times. You know how that ended.
Well, yeah. That's how you end it. Just because you don't kill him off for sending to the meat grinder and make ground beef out of him, which I mean, doesn't mean that you have to bring him back if you don't kill him off. If they could refrain from doing that because they're so damn greedy, they could just have him disappear again, and then the boogeyman disappears. Where'd he go? We don't know. And then just leave it alone.
Jen's Reviews from the Grave on their review, they were saying, like, and I agree with this, that it felt a lot more like an epilogue film to a trilogy rather than the third movie of a trilogy.
Right.
And I think, yeah, they've sort of like, they fell pretty flat in, resolution for that trilogy. Like, it's almost baffling the approach they took. And of course, if you liked it, awesome, man. More power to you. I wish I liked it as much as you did. But and I'm in the middle somewhere because I didn't hate it as much as you, Keith. But like,
Well, it's like I don't even hate it. To me, it's just insignificant. To me, it just didn't happen. You know,
Yeah.
like I've erased it. Like I have to move on from it. You know, it's like making a sadness, a sadness out of my horror movie experience. I haven't seen that yet either, and they say it's good.
It is good, dude.
I'm missing all kinds of shit now, man. I haven't seen Pearl yet either.
I haven't seen Pearl either.
Really, that surprises me.
I did love X though.
Yeah, yeah. It to me it had a it like it felt like it was from that time in the '70s, and
Yeah.
you can tell that Ty West is he just kind of threw everything at the wall and said we're gonna make it all stick, you know.
But
So
he
it wasn't
hit
going against the wall to see if it sticks. He made sure all of it stuck.
it and it stuck. There was like a lot of weird disparate elements, but they all stuck, man. It was great. I loved it.
You could tell that was a movie made with a lot of confidence and a lot of passion. He knew what he was doing. He knew where he wanted to go, and it's like you could tell there was a loose, easy, happy feeling on that set. They
He's
were having fun.
I would say he's like a modern master of atmosphere, dude. He's that type of filmmaker. He's like he's got the goods when it comes to building atmosphere like that.
His buddy, aka right hand man, Adam Wingard's the same way. They came up together, making movies together. You know, they are involved in each other's movies back in the day, like Horrible Way to Die, Sacrament, um, fucking, House of the Devil. All that shit was like they worked and wrote and like if one directed, the other produced and helped write. You know what I mean? And they went back and forth like that for years together.
Yeah, I think like I liked I mean Sacrament, House of the Devil, those both have strong atmosphere as well. You know what I mean?
Did you see A Horrible Way to Die?
I have not seen Horrible Way to Die.
That's got AJ Bowen in it. You know, the dude with the beard.
I remember it was streaming on Netflix for a long time, and it like I think it was before I don't know when it came out, but I think it was before like I had a horror YouTube channel, and I didn't
Yeah.
have like a bunch of horror friends saying, "Oh, this is a good one," and I always like it didn't get good reviews, like it wasn't well received, and I hadn't heard good things about it. Um, and I didn't know its pedigree really. That I didn't know any of the filmmakers involved in it, but so I never watched it. But I will definitely check it out at some point because
It,
I'm a fan.
it came sometime after the Innkeepers and House of the Devil and like somewhere around the ABCs of Death type area. But it's got that Amy Smets in it, and it's got AJ Bowen in it. It's got that same cast that they love to use.
Yeah,
The one guy from Your Next that played the cage fighter, you know, he's also in the Sacrament, and, you know. But I would recommend it. It's a completely different role for AJ Bowen. But yeah, I would recommend it. To me, it's like they just got this vibe. Back then, Wingard's vibe felt like Ty West vibe. They got a very low budget, old school. We love horror feel.
Ginger Ninja asking thoughts on the new VHS installments coming out. I'm looking forward to them. I like horror anthology a lot. I like that short form horror storytelling. Uh,
Yes.
and most of the segments of VHS I've liked so far. You know what I mean? Like the wraparound for Viral was just like unwatchable and terrible, but like a few of the stories in there were good. You know, like I find something to like about every one of those movies so far. So I'm looking
I
forward.
don't think you should do an anthology and make 6, 7, 8, 10 of them in it. I think you should stretch them out a little longer, make anywhere from 3 to 5. I think that works out a lot better.
I think
That's
like
my opinion.
the ABCs of Death. I wanted to like that so much, but it kind of disappointed. I love the concept, but like they should have taken the producers or something should have said, "Here's your word from the alphabet," because the words people chose were kind of lame, and it was yeah, it was a little too much. 26 of them, you know, like
Yeah, yeah. Now the first two VHSs were good. Tales of Halloween's pretty good, and it's super low budget. Um, Southbound. Did you ever see Southbound? Southbound's a good one too.
I did, yeah. I pulled this one out just the other day to give it a watch. I love this one, dude. Tales of Halloween, the media
Those of
book.
Halloween. Yep. That's a low budget, but it's done really well. What I loved the twist in that when they thought they were all worried about this kid, it turns out that they're the motherfucking crazies, and that they got, you know what I mean? I was like, hell yeah, I love that kind of shit.
I like that. Like this is a super fun movie. This is one that has like a lot of Halloween spirit. You know what I mean? Um,
That one runs a little expensive too. I've been wanting to get that, and I want to get a good version of it. Well, you know how they are.
I don't remember. I picked this up. I don't know if it's out of print or whatever, but like
Is that
uh,
Blu-ray?
this is Blu-ray. Yeah, it's the media book. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo.
Of course, it's a media book, you fucker.
I like the media books, man. What can I say? Oh,
So do
this
I. I
is
just can't afford something, dude.
Sinistrange. Yeah, this one's limited. This cover at least was limited to 333.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I ain't never mad at you with the media books. I live vicariously through your media book collecting and your film arena collecting. I remember I was so proud. I got The Shining. I was so proud of that. And you
That's
sent me
how,
a message talking about all the different ones you had, and I was like, man,
but I don't have The Shining, dude.
I didn't know what to call the damn thing. I didn't know it was called film arena. What the hell was I calling it?
Well, it is
Black something.
Black Barons is like
Yeah,
biofilm.
I have two or three of those now though. I also have Forrest Gump on film arena.
I gotta keep it horror, dude. I keep it all horror. Sometimes there's a random like I picked up Full Metal Jacket on 4K, but like for the
Well, of
most
course not,
part,
man.
I don't have enough space to collect every genre of movies that I like. So I keep it. I'll get sci-fi every now and again, but like I keep it mostly horror.
Well, you probably got a lot more than me now.
Well, I got all my DVDs put away, dude. Like, in the closet. So like,
Mine's all mixed because some things that I really like a lot they haven't even put on Blu yet.
dude, like I don't have I like the only copy I have of High Tension is a DVD, old school DVD, and I love that movie.
I don't have that. Why don't I have that?
That's a great
Damn,
movie, dude.
hell yeah, it is. I still remember the one thing I remember about that movie is the opening couple of minutes of that movie when he tosses the fucking head out the window. I was like, you hear all this fucking noise and shit. You toss the head out the window and you didn't need to see what happened. You already knew what he was doing with that head.
You know what I loved about that movie? I was a furniture maker, and the dude uses a fucking piece of furniture as a murder weapon. I was like, yeah, bitch.
You
Uh,
know he's hardcore, man. Like you knew he was hardcore right the fuck away. You know he wasn't playing games.
yeah, I love that movie, man. Twist. I wasn't super wild about the twist the first time I saw it, but it didn't ruin it for me, and I've come to love that movie in general now.
Yeah. Well, you know that's taken from the Dinar Kuntz novel, Intensity.
The High Tension was.
That's adapted from his novel called Intensity. The first version of that movie was made almost like a Lifetime movie type thing, a 3 or 4 hour Lifetime movie. And the one who plays the maniac in that one is the dude from Scrubs. You know the asshole doctor, the obnoxious smartassy doctor.
I never watched Scrubs, but
But he was also in oh God, that one fucking Wild Hogs. He plays the cop that gets all fucking naked and walks down into the water with Martin Lawrence and fucking John Travolta and all them. That
never saw Wild Hogs either. But uh,
that dude is fucking hilarious. But he plays the psycho. He plays the psycho in that. They did a lot better with High Tension. But yeah, that's adapted from Dean Cooper. So
uh, Ginger Ninja, by the way, giving you props on your collection, dude. You do have a great collection.
I think I appreciate that. Yeah, it's gotten to where now I've had to get just the essentials. Well, not all essentials because I am still an addict collector. But something I did get from Britain. This I know you know what this movie is.
Oh yeah, that was filmed in my hometown. That was filmed in Sacramento.
That's a kick ass fucking. I also got this. I had that this. I don't know how you feel about these, but I got this a few months back.
What is that? Which
Jean
movie?
Rollin, the Jean Rollin Vampire Collection. I also like Jess Franco, but of course I'm kind of sexually weird anyway. So I like those strange foreign sexploitation movies because when you look at it, the Italian directors, I mean, look at like Sergio Martino. He's a weirdo sexually. Torso's badass, man.
Dude, yeah, dude. I mean, come on, everyone's weird sexually in some way or another, you know. And if you're not weird, then you're weird to someone who's real weird, you know.
Especially when you get in old middle age like I am, and I just kind of watch it on TV because you're tired.
The I actually just ordered a media book of The River's Edge, dude.
Oh, they have a media book of it.
I ordered from the same place I got that opera from. When I placed that order, I ordered some other stuff. And yeah, that movie, like, I mean, great. Keanu's in that one too, but like, that's
You know.
that's a cool movie, and it was filmed like in my hometown, not too far from where I grew up. So I always had like a special place to me.
A very young Crispin Glover.
Yeah, man, he was Crispin Glover. What a weirdo, dude. I love that dude.
His role in that is like Crispin Glover on steroids, man.
Yeah, man. Like
Like,
Willard too, right?
yeah. Well, like one of the most entertaining things about Friday 13th Part 4 is that fucking dance, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean,
You know, the original song that was going to be playing that he was going to dance to was AC/DC's Back in Black, but they couldn't get the rights to it. it,
uh,
it they wanted too much to let him use it, so they ended up making that stock song,
it's better
basically from
as
the
it
stock
is.
band.
It's way
If
better
it,
than ACDC.
that was going to be Back in Black. Now, can you imagine that being on there on that part and him doing that dance to the AC/DC Back in Black?
Yeah.
It was just a whole new life. Man.
Ginger Ninja asking if those are the Bridget Leahy ones, Gorpho. He's asking about the vampire movies.
Um, Bridget, I don't know, you're losing me there, man. You may know a little more than me on this. There,
I don't know who that is. I don't even know what those movies are that you showed me.
Rape of the Vampire, The Nude Vampire, The Shiver of the Vampires, and Requiem for a Vampire.
I've never seen any of those.
They're all fucked up, in other words. They're French sexploitation horror.
Okay.
Jean Rollin and Jess Franco are like neck and neck like that. Like this here, there's the original Inside. I mean, it has nothing to do with the subject we were talking about, but
I love that movie though too.
that's a DVD. Have you ever heard of this? Your Flesh, Your Curse.
I don't think I have.
This is it's like German or something. One of those German countries is where he's from. It's crazy, man. Um, there's some other shit here that I've checked out that I wanted to mention to you, but every time I get to this, I forget which one it is. Where are you on like scary kid shit?
I like Scary Kids.
There we go. Stuff with Eden Lake.
Oh yeah, brutal, dude. I don't own that one actually. I don't own
Have
the
you
physical
seen
copy.
this one?
Who Can Kill a Child? I have not.
That is a kick-ass scary kid movie. It was made in the 70s. This this is from Mondo Macabro, 1976, and it's like Spain and America. I recommend it.
My my 70s horror is not as refined as the my subsequent decades, the 80s and 90s, 2000s and beyond.
This needs a Blu-ray.
That has a Blu-ray. I have it.
Really?
I have a media book of it.
It was?
I have the media book of it. Let's see. Oh god damn it! You know the drill. Hold on.
I don't doubt that at all.
NSM did this media book.
Oh, here, what was? Oh, shit.
I
God
love it.
damn.
This movie's great, dude.
No, he's got fucking Blu-ray, but you got a fucking media book.
It is Region B. I don't know. Did it not get a Region A Blu-ray release?
I'm not sure. As far as I know, it doesn't have an American Blu.
This is a fun ass movie, dude.
But luckily, I have two all region players, so it don't matter to me which region. They could stick out a fucking, you know, fucking Brazilian. I can play it. I guarantee you.
The only bummer I have is like when you buy these foreign media books, like if it's a foreign film, sometimes they don't come with English language, or subs, which is a bummer.
Now, I have some off the wall nuts here, like this Seven. That's a media book.
Nice.
Uh,
Seven's one. I only have the old school DVD for Seven, dude. I don't even have a Blu-ray of that one.
God damn. I have Natural Born Killers on a media book. Goodfellas on media book. Of course, that opera, Candyman, Halloween. Well, you see my Friday 54 too. I'd like to get the others like this.
I know that's the problem with picking up one of them, dude. Is now you got to get every other one too.
Yeah. No, I still got the Friday 54 3 Steel book yet. Pieces needs a. Does Pieces have a media book? I'm sure it does.
They probably do. I just have the Grindhouse releasing version of that, which is a nice set. Looks great, but I also have the Arrow limited edition of it with the puzzle.
Well, this carries a nice media book.
Nice. I have the I have a Midnight Classics media book of Carrie.
Yeah, I know. I want to get a few of those. I've only got one. All I have is Dawn of the Dead Midnight Classic. Of course, it's called Zombie because it's an Italian company.
Oh yeah.
I I had Midnight Classics. I looked and I was like, damn, this is the first 4K that Dawn of the Dead ever came out with. Actually,
I like those Midnight Classics, dude. But a lot of them are exclusive to their store, which won't ship out of Europe. So that's a bummer.
but I seen Halloween '78 on Amazon Italy, and in Italian prices it was like $28. So I calculated it. I could get it for $40 or under from Amazon Italy.
Dude,
So
I
I would
picked
love.
it up. It was like $18 or something when I got it. It was like they were giving it away, and it's such a cool set too. I was like, damn, guys, more power to you.
I seen a new Day of the Dead media book. It's a new release. I can't remember who's releasing it, but it looks awesome. The artwork is great on.
Was it this one?
Yeah, that's the one.
I love that. This artwork is badass, dude.
Hell yeah.
I watched that one the other night, man. I love that movie. That's my favorite Romero zombie movie.
Yeah, me and Nightwatch Zone did a watch along with that a couple weeks back. Yeah. Yeah, that's the Day of the Dead I was talking about.
I think last I got it off of Orbit DVD, and I think it still was up there last time I was on their site.
Cool. How much was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I'll check though for you if you want. Let's see.
I like Orbit. Diabolic used to be the place to go when you couldn't find something, but Diabolic is so saturated now that Orbit's kind of like more the place to go.
Orbit's like you just never know what they're going to. They get like the most random cool stuff. You know what I mean? Like that Day of the Dead media book.
They've got a lot of German releases. I like that about them. But most places don't go there. You know what I mean? Most places don't fuck with that. And they have used shit. We have where you can buy it from other sellers,
Yep.
and they're not trying to fucking you know squeeze every fucking penny out of your bank.
It looks like they may not have that one still, but they have the Creep Show 2 that I got from them.
Oh,
Still
cool.
available, it looks like.
I never got that Arrow Creep Show too. I always wanted to get the turquoise one.
Yeah, I picked that one up. There was like a Canadian release for that. That was
Yeah,
that color. And then when they did like an Arrow store exclusive when they did the Region B release of it, and that's the one I picked up was the Arrow store one.
yeah. There was an eBay seller. It may have been from the same thing, but there was an eBay seller that had like 5 or 10 of them, and he was selling them for like 65, $70 each about a year ago, which is cheap for that. They didn't last long.
Ginger Ninja saying Day of the Dead is epic. He has the VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray. I have I have the Scream Factory Blu-ray, and I have like the cool. I can't remember who did the. It's like a digipack style, sort of weird, like bub on the front. You know, the
Right.
old school DVD one that I thought
Yeah.
was awesome when that came out.
This
Yep,
one.
yep. And it comes with like the journal.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought that was cool, man.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And it still looks good. It's still got a damn good transfer. Um, yeah, that Screen Factory Day of the Dead still goes for buku money
Does it?
until they release it on 4K, and then it'll be like Return of the Living Dead was like $130 for like the
Yeah.
last year or so. Now
That's
it's
like
25.
the Arrow stuff. You know what I mean? They'll do like the same goddamn thing that they already released, but they'll do it like, dude. Okay, I mean that's cool, but like, why don't you release shit that I don't already own that I
Yeah,
limited edition sets of in 4K? Like, don't go through your whole goddamn catalog just putting shit on 4K disc. Like, what about some new shit that's never been on 4K? You know?
man. The last few months they have done what they come out with the creepy, lousy rest Halloween collection, and now they're doing Carrie Black Christmas. Before that, they did the Funhouse, Escape from New York. They never did go back and do the thing. I think they lost the rights to the thing. That went to Studio Canal.
I think they might still do the thing at some point. I think they're just slowly doling out the Carpenter 4Ks. You know what I mean?
I,
But I
I'm
could
waiting
be
for I'm waiting for a couple of the other carpenters to get ready to roll through on 4K soon.
Film Arena just put out a thing, uh, full slip that I pre-ordered, and I haven't heard shit about it. I'm not sure when I think it might come out in 4 days.
They got so many that I want. There's so many film arenas that I want.
But it wasn't 4K. I do have I do have the thing in 4K a few times, but
What releases of Hell Knight do you have? Because I know you're a Hell Knight fan.
I love Hell Knight. I have the oh, hold on one second. I have the Scream Factory. Uh,
One here.
and then I have these two media books.
Hey, at least I got the 101 film with the booklet and everything. Though.
And I actually don't have the 101 film, but I have this media book. It has this. It's like the Screen
Cool.
Factory looking art on it.
Wow, they did use the Screen Factory art, didn't they?
And then this is the other one, and this is
Classic.
the one that has like a different transfer. But I still haven't actually watched this one yet.
Different transfer, like how?
It's like they like redid it. It's got like a new transfer, but like I said, I haven't. Last time I watched this at work
That's
the other
cool.
day, actually. Um,
That's cool.
I didn't watch this disc, but I watched it streaming at work. Yeah, I
Now,
did.
I want the media book to Laid to Rest. You've seen Laid to Rest, haven't you? Chrome
Um,
Soul?
yeah, I haven't. I don't have the media book. I think they did a collection though, right? Didn't they do like a Chrome Skull 1 and 2 media book?
Yeah, yeah, and then they got like the 3 different covers type thing.
I've only seen the first one. Actually, I haven't seen the sequel.
Did you get Henry? Do you like Henry?
I like Henry. Henry's one that I haven't picked up yet. I only have a DVD of that.
Yeah, I
I
got the old
actually,
DVD too.
I heard the 4K, that 4K like looks like impressive.
Yeah, it looks really good, but I waited till they put out the replacement disc because somehow they fucked it up. They put they a couple of the scenes were in the wrong sequence, so they had to send out a replacement disc. So I just waited for that, and then yeah, somehow they got it in the wrong sequence. Like when he goes in, I don't know if you remember when he goes in to get cigarettes at that convenience store and he kills the guy. That scene was in the wrong place somehow. I don't know how they did it. They did. I still don't have Demons 1 and 2, those real nice arrows that they put out that they had to send out all kinds of discs.
I got those. I don't have the replacement disc though.
What was wrong with it?
I I think one of the I want to say one of them like it wasn't anything that affected. I think it was like one of them had like a weird dub issue or something. Uh,
Right?
but I don't think it was like the just the English dub version, which is what I watch. You know what I mean? Like, um, so I don't know. I've watched them both on 4K. First one looks great, man. Well, the second one looks good too, but um, Brandon says he was waiting on that Scream Factory Nightmare on Elm Street set.
Yeah, yeah. Most people have been waiting for like years for that. Do you like Terror Train?
I like Terror Train. Okay, it's not my favorite slasher, but I like it. Okay.
They remade it. It's coming out the end of this month. It's a Tubi original, and
Oh,
the
I heard about that. Yeah.
the trailer looks pretty good. He's got this clown mask, and it looks absolutely terrifying. Now this is the weirdest off the just out of left field Terror Train that I have. This is a French import of it. It's not a media book or anything, but this is the oddest fucking Terror Train that I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody else ever have this
I
before.
definitely don't have
It's yeah, it's
that. Nice.
and it's French somehow, and I think it's like $17, man. It's DVD Blu-ray combo, so they're definitely still behind the times. See, most people are doing 4K Blu-ray combos. The French people said, "Man, we're doing a DVD Blu-ray combo." Man, we got last year, but yeah, I think my opinion is Terror Train. I like Terror Train better than Prom.
Oh yeah, I would too. I would go there. Terror. I mean, Terror Train is better than Prom Night. I
Oh
think,
yeah,
like quite a bit. Prom Night gets a lot of love and it's okay, but like, Terror Train is a lot more interesting, dude.
oh yeah. Um, I thought it was pretty cool how they had him switching off his fucking skies.
Yeah, I mean that was awesome. Plus, you had a goddamn magician and shit. Come on.
Yeah, fucking David, David Copperfield. And I
Perfect.
love the twist because I remember when I was a kid and first seen that, I did not know that his chick assistant was him. I had no idea that that was Kenny. Blew my mind.
Well, I'll be curious to see. I haven't seen any Tubi original things, uh,
Right.
but they're coming up, dude. They're like they got a bunch of shit on there, man. A bunch of good stuff streaming on their site.
Here, let me. What do you have as far as Maniac goes?
Oh
Because I
boy.
think I got something that's really cool.
I've got uh I've got some things on the way that are Maniac related. But currently I have a DVD, an old school DVD. I have the 4K, the 3 disc set that 4K, yeah, Blue Underground put out, and then I have the media book, 4K media book of the remake, and the remake on Blu-ray.
I,
And then
I don't have the remake yet.
oh, a remake's great, man. Hey, you've seen the remake though,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The on the way when I ordered you that book, I ended up getting the Maniac. It's like this. I got a bunch of Maniac shit. Nameless Media put out this box set. It's like this big long digipack,
Yes,
that
I want that.
I picked that up, and then I also got the 4K media book of the original Maniac. I got an alternate cover of the remake Maniac, and then I got this snow globe edition of Maniac that's coming too. I went balls out. I love Maniac. I mean, what can you do?
No.
Yeah.
Here's my claim to fame with Maniac. This is, God damn it, I can't remember the fucking, goddamn, how do I not remember the goddamn company that did it? Oh, this is Blue Ground / Nameless, and it's a steelbook.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, my
And it's
steelbook
absolutely
game,
beautiful.
my steelbook game is not super good. It's not bad, but
I'm picky with them because they're like, I can't really go and to a lot of stores and get shit, so I have to have most of my shit shipped.
yeah.
So if I'm having a steelbook shipped, I got to know that seller and make sure they're packaging it right, because there's nothing more irritating than for a steelbook to show up all dented up.
Yeah, dude.
That's my problem with steelbook. And once it's dented, it's fucking a run.
It's a bummer. You can Keith from Euphoria Pictures, I want to say it was a Halloween. He got one of these old school like Halloween metal pack. I want to say it was maybe a Halloween 2 metal pack that was like really rare. And he got it and it became like all tacoed and shit. And he spent like all the time flattening it out and everything. It looked fine when he was done with it, man.
Here's my Terrifier. This is also a steelbook.
Oh yeah, that's going. I got the yeah, I got the Cine Museum 1 click for that.
And it comes with this poster.
I had my ex actually got me an Art the Clown print that I haven't framed yet, but it's pretty awesome.
I want the Art Clown figure, man. He's like a 1/6 figure, which means he stands about 18 inches tall.
I got that one.
He's absolutely hideous. It's awesome.
Dude, that's a great figure from Trick or Treat Studios.
Yeah, I've got the Michael Myers, but I have not got the fucking art yet. They're coming out with Superman next month. I got my pre-order in. Hopefully I'm able to get it.
I have like some glass cases I haven't assembled yet, but I have the art right here. And I have all my cloth figures in boxes until I get them in the glass case, but he is awesome.
Are they the tall glass cases?
Yeah.
I can't get those, man. They won't ship to me.
I couldn't get it either, dude. But then like I checked back and I was able to get them shipped to me. So like check back, dude, because they like IKEA, like even though I'm in a big metropolitan area, for some reason they just wouldn't ship them over. And I was like, well, fuck you guys. But I was able to get 4 shipped over.
Yeah. Our the one here in Indiana is in Noblesville, which is like a suburb of Indianapolis. And it's only about 20 fucking miles from the little rinky dink little hole in the wall, the town that I live in right now. And they wouldn't ship here. I almost had I was gonna get 2 or 3 of them back when I had some money here a couple of years ago. Brandon says $80 for my copies. If we happen to all of a sudden it just cuts off, let it be known, everybody, that means my free time was over. But I can let you go whenever you want, man. I don't want to keep you.
I am fucking exhaustified. I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep, and
all right.
I'm sure I was trying to take the last 2 weeks of October off, but I got these projects I got to wrap up first, so it's kind of a bummer. But
man, well, we can make a plan. Like I said, my shit starts over the 23rd. I've got doing something 23rd, 24th, and I've got something going on the first with Ninja actually, and then the second with Craven Something Scary. So if you're interested, we could try to hook up and do something the weekend after that, or just throw something in the middle there somewhere.
I'm usually pretty easy going. If I find out about something in advance, I can usually accommodate it. This Next Sunday, I think I'm doing a stream with Draculina and friends. It'll be like her first stream. And actually, it's going to be an Instagram live, but I always like hanging out with those people. And then also the following week, have you seen Hunter x Hunter, by the way?
Pardon?
Have you seen Hunter x Hunter?
No, I haven't seen that Barbarian or whatever either.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter. I picked up this 4K media
Hmm.
book of it. I saw it before streaming, and it's a cool movie. But I'm going to discuss this with American Werewolf in Jersey, and have Cheetah Will View and David's Horrors and Mary as well, possibly. But we're doing that on the 30th, so that's Sunday.
Yeah, all my shit that I do with anybody else is right here on my channel because I don't get invited to their channels anymore. I haven't been invited in months, man, anywhere else. Whether I talk to anybody or have any social interaction is when they come to mine.
I pretty much like only stream when like other people can't do it on the Saturday stream, and other than that, my channel has been pretty stagnant. But this is a great movie, man. Anyone watching this, Ginger Ninja, check this one out if you want. It gets darker than you think it's gonna get, man. It's pretty
Cool. Here, let me get to the end of the chat here real quick, and then we'll wrap it up, and I'll let you go, man. Like the new Hellraiser. New Hellraiser was just kind of like, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I didn't hate it.
I think like I liked it because I thought it looked cool, man. I like the production design. I like the way it was shot, and I like
Yeah.
the lament configuration, the way they did that, and yeah, I thought like all the art direction was really cool, and it was just a cool looking
Yeah.
movie that was still pretty dark, and you know, it wasn't
Yeah,
amazing, but
wasn't bad.
it hit all.
I like the way the box stabbed you though. That was cool.
Yeah, and I just like how it was
Makes
all
sense.
like a lot more mechanical and changed form so much.
Like I'm surprised they didn't do that to begin with. It made so much sense that it stabbed you and took your blood,
Yeah,
and then you know what I mean. That made so much sense. I don't know why they didn't do that to begin with. It was good, not great though. Yeah, Tarmaines Myers would have ripped Corey's head off. His legs and shit off and beat him with them. Yeah, he was
yeah,
nasty. When that was a nasty Michael Myers, man. I'm sorry, but no one could live with open wounds and a sewer infections galore. He just hang out there for 4 years, killing bums and shit. She thought Corey, she shot Corey once, didn't she? She got him a couple times before he
it's
found
coming twice. Yeah, twice on
he
the
was
torso.
he was laying down there all fucked up. Yeah, hot take. Corey is still alive. Evil transference. Oh my god. If they do that, I swear to God, I will go to where they are at and I will kill every one of them.
I mean, of course, Halloween's going to come back. You just don't know how.
Well, I'm hoping they do it like this. I'm hoping somebody else takes up the mantle and decides to make their own head canon. If I had money, I would make a head canon and I would make the greatest Halloween sequel anyone has ever seen, guaranteed. It would have all that creepy hiding and breathing and stalking. He wouldn't kill a motherfucker until fucking 55 minutes into the movie. I could see that. It's not the movie a lot of people expected it to be. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, X was awesome. Yeah, yeah, it was definitely entertaining. I haven't seen Pearl yet. Now she plays the same chick, right?
Yeah, she plays the old lady but younger. Pearl. Yeah.
That's who she plays, the old woman.
Yeah.
That old lady was weird. She was strange.
I mean,
She
that
was
was me.
so,
Both of those were Mia Goth, which was
yeah.
yeah, I didn't realize that the first time I saw it. I didn't know she played both those roles. The second time I saw it, you know, I was like, oh, yeah. When I heard about it, I was like, that's pretty awesome.
She was the old lady.
Yeah, dude.
Damn. Well, hey, you learn something new every day. Fuck.
Yeah, she was the her young character, and then the old lady in the prequel is her playing, the old lady but young.
No wonder the old woman. I thought she looked odd. I was wondering why she looked so fucking strange.
I didn't like. I didn't know that was her the whole first time I saw it until I heard someone say something, and then I was like, "Oh shit, really? That's pretty
I,
crazy."
I just right now found out.
Yeah,
Also, the new VHS installments. I didn't know about that either. So yeah, I'm starting to fall behind, man. Yeah, Ty West batting 1,000. Yeah, he's just he's all fucked up, and that works. Your neck felt like The Strangers meets Home Alone. Your neck stands by itself. It's its own thing, man. I've always loved Your Next.
It's such a fun, satisfying movie, dude. It just is, man.
I love when AJ Bowen comes back in and he sees all that and he sees that she's wiped out his brother and his girlfriend and all these people and he makes a comment. He said, "Well, I'm glad to know that she was going to be like Rambo or something."
Yeah, and
He was fucking he was pissing. He was terrified, man.
she's so badass. And like, what about that ending where it's just like she's like the cop comes in to like arrest her and like she's like no, and like he ends up just. I mean,
That right there, I loved that because that was like Night of the Living Dead. You know what I mean? It was so
yeah,
ironic and so fucked up and ridiculous. Yeah,
yeah,
she's a big psycho. She was defending herself. She just did it very well. Anthologies are very hit and miss for me. I tend to like more of them than dislike. But yeah, when you get a bad anthology, it's real bad. I think Tales from Halloween is the only Halloween anthology that rivals. I don't know the original Tales from the Tales from the Crypt from '72. That was considered a Halloween one, wasn't it? I got the 4 disc release of Tales from Halloween 2. I don't have the Tales of Halloween yet, damn it. Agoraphobia collection is freaking awesome though. It's
see,
mine to shame. Thank you. Well, yeah, but thank you very much. Just collect them, man. Just shit.
yeah.
I bet you can get some killer editions over there in Australia.
Imprint's been doing some cool shit, dude. And
Yeah,
Umbrella does some cool shit.
yeah, they are. Yeah, do you have the imprint Warriors?
Uh,
Um,
no, I didn't get the imprint anything, dude. They also came out with a martyr set that I didn't even know was out until like it was already sold out, and I was like, fuck.
I've seen the American remake. I still haven't seen the original foreign one of that.
I haven't seen the American remake, but all accounts it's sucks compared to the French one. But and the French one's awesome. But I have, like I said, I haven't seen the American one, so I can't firsthand say that that's the case.
Like I'm still wanting to see the original foreign version of Funny Games.
I like the foreign one better. A lot of people like the American remake better, but for me, like it having it not be in English made me a little more unsettled in general watching it, and it sort of like I don't know. And
My
plus,
son loved it until he rewound it and shit, and he has bitched about that ever since he hit the rewind. You know when his buddy gets blown away and he's like, no, he grabs the phone and rewinds it. My son's been bitching about that ever since.
but the it also I think depends on which one you see first. A lot of people saw the American one first, and I didn't, and they like that. Same with the Ring. Actually, I saw the American Ring. I prefer the American Ring. A lot of people that saw Ringu first like the Japanese one better.
Yeah, I'm trying to skip through a little bit so I don't take forever. What did you think of the Megan trailer?
Have you seen that trailer?
Megan.
It's like this. I mean, it is like exactly the same story as the Child's Play,
Oh yeah, that's creepy, man.
but it looked cool. It looked cool, but it like so dead on, like artificial intelligence gone awry in a child's doll. That it's real close, but it looked like it was going to be well executed. Trailer looked
Yeah.
good.
Well, I mean, the Child's Play remake, I thought they had a lot of balls doing it that way. At least they didn't try to remake it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That would have been a mistake. It
I
it, it would have bombed.
I didn't mind the Child's Play remake.
No,
I went in with a pretty open mind. What happened was like a lot of diehard. I'm not a diehard Child's Play dude. Like that's not my favorite
yeah,
franchise. I like it okay, um, a lot of people just right off the bat, no Brad Dourif, fuck that, it's stupid. I hate it before they even see it. And then like a
right.
lot of people who saw it and were like, that was fucking amazing. And I was like, I went in pretty open mind, like, okay, whatever. But it had gotten a lot of hype. So I didn't I liked it, but I felt like by the time I saw it, it was a little overrated by a lot of people I know.
Yeah. Well, what I've heard mostly from it, the Child's Play remake, which it's more reimagining, but
Yeah.
I've heard more people shit on it than like it. So I thought it could have been a lot worse.
It's a little polarizing. I mean, uh I think yeah, if you're not gonna get Brad Dourif, I mean Mark Hamill's a good fucking pretty good voice actor to get for Chucky, you know?
He's probably the best voice actor ever as far as Joker goes. Yeah,
Yeah, he does a great Joker. Now the Chucky doll, I did not like the design of it, but you
it
know,
looks weird. It looks strange though, and it definitely took shit way too personally, especially when you're fucking with that kid.
yeah.
He just wanted, yeah, it was strange. Well, I've caught up here. I will let you go get some rest, man. You're looking peaked as fuck.
Yeah.
Thanks again for coming and joining me again, man. Had a great time and a great talk again. I will get a hold of you, or get a hold of me or whatever. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Much appreciated. Thanks to Ben. That's Ben from the Cadaver Club. I am Goraphobe, and you are not. Have a nice night, man.
Always a pleasure.